2, 3. Oh, it's a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I forgot this is actually loud enough. This is what to actually do real well. Maybe five. No way. Hello. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy dubs. So basically, we are in fact gonna talk about how absolutely shit the government is. So it's quite simply to do with well, I have been doing my own research into this, and every single Britain should, because how Britain is now since World War II is really, really, really terrible, and it is because of the conservative. It's because of all the parties, really. All the parties have different interests, apparently. Okay, I gotta make sure that none of the cups spill on my PC, so I will take that, put it there, over there. Nah, I should actually keep it on the floor. That's disgusting. Let me just chug. Mm. But yeah, I was doing my own rant. I was doing my own research into it, and it's a really should, because all the parties are actually lying, because basically, right, as you elect a new government, you think like they're gonna do something good, but they don't, because basically, right, you have like fucking Birmingham, and Birmingham's absolutely shit. Like, I actually in fact read an article where 12, yeah, where it's not my floor, it's on my, should be 12, nope, T- 212, yeah, the, yeah, basically, right, don't think it's this guy, yeah, I don't think it's this guy, would it be this guy? What was his Teta G? This was actually this month. If I go to bed right, his dad did the heart with mistake. Yeah, basically, right, basically, right, more and more people are get. There is It's because, right, simply that Wolverhampton and generally, like, anything else to do with Wolverhampton is so terrible. Like, look, murder, fucking murder. Like, you can't, like, I could go for the word, I could do this. There's like 6 pages of murder, and it's because, right, there's a murder, there is murder there, there's more murder. Like, basically, right, Wolverhampton and during the whole Britain is all shitty because simply it's because of the government. Because I've been actually watching this video and it actually explains why. Because they make ridiculous projects, they don't even finish it, but they spend so much money on it. And well, if he actually gets fucking no, if anyone, if at this point, like, you might as well not even vote because your vote would just be one step in order to make the UK a literal bankruptcy. It's literally so bad.
has consistently had the lowest.
Like, it's literally like I'm gonna restart it, but I've been watching a lot of it, like probably like 25 minutes, and trust me, it's literally like straight off the bat, right? Because it just feels like as if like UK had like a really glorious historic moment where they conquered everything, they conquered the whole world, they had everything, they were absolutely perfect, but then post World War, they had so much policies. I know that politics was such a big thing. In fact, right, it led to the fucking government to just absolutely get shot on. Like, I feel like as if like it's because, right, of one thing that is Like number one, it's because of Greenland. Like this video mentions everything. I mean by everything, like 1 hour of everything is just to show that the government should just not really be a government anymore, and that if you want to be one of the best governments and want to be so memorable, you have to actually follow everything that's said within this video. Like if everything said in this video, if a government follows it, like one party, they're winning. They're literally winning, and if they ignore everyone else, they try to do the opposite who trying to like go against it. I think that they can actually like like that. And also the housing crisis, it's because of course of the Green Line. Because the Green Line, right, it makes so that they're supposed to be nature lines to protect nature. But if you look at every single Green Line, they're all shitty. They're all wins. They literally look fucking they're all different types of fucking what is this? McAfee. Oh my days! This is what I mean. You literally have like fucking like I hate this. McAfee, you're a literal virus at this point. You are literally asking for more and more money from me. I should actually install a much more better antivirus. I just got tricked in my first time, but McAfee just added much of ridiculousness. Now they're just asking for like £200 a month. Like, I never put it. That's the only shit.
Have you noticed how empty everywhere is these
Hello.
days?
Alright, wait.
Britain is
So,
quickly
yeah.
becoming a nation of nothing. A recent Cambridge University report finds the
Wait.
availability
So,
of
what did you.
parks, cinemas, train stations, public transport, GP practices, hospitals, mental health care, police stations, banks, cash machines, post offices, education facilities, theatres, swimming pools, museums, shopping centres, chemists, pubs, and gyms have declined across almost all English areas since 2014.
That's actually practically just everything to do with like the suburbs. It's like as if like around the 2000s, like you were just so lit, and now right you reached the 2014s, and then just everything closed down. There was even like a club that was open in Wolverhampton. And it was just because right the guy, it's because right it was so lit. I haven't experienced the 2000s, born in a way, but what I believe was it was so lit in the 2000s because you had clubs and basically they're making shit to the money, and it's because like it's how the government runs at this point. The government only cares about the rich are getting richer, and the poor just absolutely get tarnished. But they actually invested in foreign industries, and due to this foreign industries investment, this means so that they get even more richer. If they invest in their own country that they're actually living in, they'll make it so that they'll actually lose a lot of money in the process. They only have a lot of money as it is. They must have more money than Steve Jobs, but yet they're not. But yet they're actually not even doing anything for it. It's like it feels like as if like what the government is doing is that there was one thing that is the patent law where you have to actually in fact ask the government if you could build, even if you own the land, if you could actually build, and yet the bank projects that were actually cancelled, like oh all of the okay. So basically, right, the Stonehenge Visitor Centre says that would have been good. There you close it. That would that would actually be good. Stonehenge Visitor Center would actually be really good because like people haven't visibly gone to like even though it's a bunch of fucking rocks, you should actually go there. Local authority, like Joe, go replace the visual assemblies, make up an English council powers. Sheffield forward man. So Labour government said the engineering firm. So basically, right, they were actually gonna increase more money to the nuclear industry. So we're trying to get people who long to employ. That would actually be good. Like 600. Okay. So basically, that would also be. I feel like as if most of these would actually be good, and then some terrible ones that, of course, bad. But it's just that it just shows you that the government is just shit. Like the government kind of fucking impose you call me. So why? Like we already got that shit, and we literally have like fucking Tesco's. I think like you have more abandoned buildings in Wolverhampton now, and it's because like people can't even afford to upkeep them. Like they're so abandoned to the point that what's the fucking point of actually like going? Cause was like people leaving the UK, like they now before then it would be absolutely terrible, but now it feels as if like it should just be like a thing, cause basically like, the UK has a tendency to absolutely fucking fuck over everyone else, but while making themselves richer. Oh shit.
Under the Conservatives, funding for local government has been cut by over half since 2010.
I don't even know why. Like I feel like as if like they had something, but they made them so imaginary thing where like they need to cut down funding just to fund up more things, and that's where it got down to shit. It's because like Thatcher and all these other old cunts, above, way after no, all the cunts right after Winston Churchill, probably like people. I don't really know that much history about into politics. But I know one thing about it. There's that that since the actual Winston Churchill and after World War II, every single cunt that has been in the fucking parliament and been in government has in fact been ruining the actual environment and ruining everything else because they're making an imaginary shit that old people will actually believe, and these old people think that the future is gonna be great and amazing for the youngins, but the youngins see it in reality as a absolute shithole where everyone gets murdered to death. Like no matter who you are. Oh, you're a child? Shanked to death. Oh, you're an old man? Shanked to death. Oh, you're just a police officer? Shanked to death. Like, it feels as if, like, you must go inside a school or something, or, like, or an army base, and just shank people. Yeah, that would be normal. It's because this normalism is caused by the fact that the government won't even have that much funding in order to go towards police and everything. It goes to the point, right, where they have to walk inside the schools and go, right, where knife crime doesn't really happen. Like, the only knife crime I remember is the two major ones is Rohan Kanda and the other one, the Machete Kids. And basically, Rohan Kanda, what I remember is two Sikhs. Basically, right, the guy was actually coming back after he bought a PS5 control, no PS4 controller or PS5, I don't know, but basically right, he was going back with the controller, right, and then two guys were chasing him, and he got stabbed to death. And since the news got here, and I didn't know because I just felt neutral, and then I think some of the people in older year groups were starting crying and shit, and I think some of the pastoral members were also crying. But basically, right, this made it so that a whole investigation was occurred into this, and this, I kid you not, this made the greatest video of all time. The I forgot it. The sea god. I don't know what it's called. Like the sea. No, no, what? Fucking go to YouTube. I really want to show this, but I don't know if it's still up or not. The Godfather, Godfather. These are all different types of Godfather. These Godfather, 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 Godfather. These are all different types of the one Godfather we're talking about. The good father. Maybe it's called that. The good. No. Uh, I don't remember it for some reason. Wait, I don't think I should be looking into this. Basically, right. Oh, that been sentenced? Wait, why can't the T sentence for his mistaken identity? Oh, they weren't meant to murder him, but he got murdered either way. And of course, his parents came in. Like, I saw their parents like, yeah, these two, like this guy. He looks insane. He looks like me on crack. Basically, they, so basically, right, I was actually over. So basically, right, evacuation. So to be honest though, how is it like not bad that you could just buy knives and swords? Like, wait, can you just buy swords? Swords and buy. You can literally just buy swords. How about buy machetes? You can literally buy yourself a fucking machete. What the fuck? What the hell, dude? No wonder people get murdered. It's because why they do not even do anything to the murders. Like they say do not use knives or don't carry knives around, but they don't do the major step and just fucking ban shanks. They don't even ban them. Like what's the point of trying to fucking eliminate knife crime when you literally allow them to actually get the knives? Like they even made videos. They have the funding in order to make cheap ass videos just to say don't use your knife. Then actually have a law passed to ban the sale of knives. Okay, it has to. There has to be knives. Like for example, like kitchen knives or them knives. They should be on sale. But bigger knives, like you have the kabana. The kabana is like a knife that should just not be on the list. Like the Kaban, kitchen knives, and butter knives, and all those other knives that you find in kitchens, right? They should not be used in the. They should not. They all should just continue to be on sale as normal. But however, the if you get like bigger knives and bigger and like swords and katanas and shit, they should actually be banned. Like I feel like as if like katana, they should just not be banned because like, they could just because they're used by so like it's yeah. It's actually going on. So like now it's just based on like a whole good one, and because of it, right? I feel like as if like the other guy got murdered is probably misidentity also. So it just feels as if like they should be sentenced to life. And like I heard that also with it that basically for the dude, these all like last year, but I can't find the actual where I can uh there's literal school. There's no way. Yeah, he's literally like oh I can't the god see no good wherever god. I think they took it down or something because I don't find it anymore. I think they actually took it down or something because was it what happened is that they it was up and it showed corruption within, but it's just that how it's just that after the murder that they didn't want to get like any more. Wait, they literally got sentenced on video. Wait.
Mitigating factors, concealment and the location of the offence, the additional mitigating feature, the appropriate, which will run concurrently. Will the defendants please stand?
To be honest, though, like I just think like I can't even find it anymore. But basically, it showed that how corrupted the actual good world is. Like I remember, like there was actually like there was so much allegations going on to the point that even people like me believed it because it happened right after the murder, and the good brother decided to make this whole fake shit where like what the council member, because it was on the council member's son, so they got like, oh yeah, do this thing and write some really good thing about Ryan Kenda and how you know him and that he's not Ryan Kenda, one of the murderers, and just say how good he is, how sexy he is, and how that he has a big dick or something. I don't know, but like they really want to make it so that they really sound good when saying it. But like it's just that that went to a mistrial because of fake evidence, and they did it again, and they got charged. Because I believe during the time, uh, that it will hit so hard to the point that what the hell, that it got hit so hard because of I think they did get charged with the extra it's over. No, I think it's just the start, man. Like I don't think the Conservative Party will ever change. But still, though, like that's what I actually believe. I believe that. And due to that, right, there is that the good one, I kid you not, right, all the council members left, apart from the corrupted ones, because they still think they can do it. And due to that, right, there was literally a lot of arguments going on, like a bunch of people arguing, and I detailed it all. But it's just that, right, the school that I go to, told me to take it down because the school is related to the murder. But I consider myself as media, but they told me no, don't do it. I just, I had no choice. Like I had no choice. I had to just take it down, and because like otherwise, when the good got me too much trouble.
With such stringy finances, councils have had to be very frugal with their limited budget, selling off billions worth of public assets just to make ends meet, and raising council tax higher and higher to pay for worse and worse services. And even then, many councils are going into debt just providing basic functions. This is part of a wider economic policy pursued by the Conservatives over the past 14 years. One that was intended to bring down government debt. Cuts to education to the tune of...
I know they wanted to increase funding, so you know what they did? Make sure that the economy was actually climbing higher and higher, so that they can get more money. Nah, let's just cut everything. Oh, your house? Fucking sell that shit. Give us that money also. Your school? What school? Farms? We never had farms. Oh, the local post office? What post office? You just send it the package yourself. Like you're going insane. They're making so much little sense. In fact, like, Rishi Sunak is the biggest fraud. To be honest, all the government is the biggest fraud. You cannot vote on anyone. You might as well just not even vote because even if it's in your local area, or like, let me look at general election. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It looks like my fucking no, this is Colton Hills. It literally looks like my gym. It looks like a fucking gym. So basically, the reform is Don Brooks, Andrew Clubber, Vixie Chopper. Well, this guy is, in fact, look. So I think like if you're like at least like part of the law, you can actually run for MP. But I feel like as if I want to just I ain't see my 286. Damn, the Crusader looks sexy as hell though, not gonna lie. Paranormal. Oh no. But still though, Like, it's just ridiculous.
£10 billion, taking 14% from the most deprived schools. £5,000 less per pupil.
Damn, £5,000. So basically, right, the government took £5,000 from your education just so that they could actually increase the amount of money that they actually have.
Youth services down by a third.
So if you're special or like born like with some special genetics, or not special genetics, if you're born with like I don't know, like some genetic issues or something, or like you're born like dyspexia or dyslexia or something, you do not actually have like youth services that close to your area because simply they get slashed. Like even though these may seem like little to like the rich people, these are actually quite a lot because this money that they're actually taking away, it's so much. In fact, right, it's enough in order to close out like a couple thousand services for the youth.
Environment down 20%.
No wonder it looks like a fucking shithole in Birmingham.
Housing down by a half, and
Damn.
infrastructure down 55.
Like, infrastructure, down by 55%. No wonder it looks like the 1940s in the modern world. Like the UK now, it still looks the same like 100 years ago, except for the fact you have smartphones and iPads and like automatic cars. It feels like as if you're literally the driving modern vehicles in the past. Like it feels as if you just won the World War and you just also created your TikTok account.
5%. Road repairs down 40%. 600 million slashed from yearly cultural spending.
So, I think what this means by that is like, for example, like how Sikhs have like Vaisakhi and like Christians have like Christmas or something. Cause like with Vaisakhi, right, you have to actually have like rent out like not a rent out a park. Basically, the government every single year would in fact like get for one day they will let for free do we in fact like have like Vaisakhi days and shit, and this makes it so that it used to be so fun where like you can actually just go in and just chill with the Sikhs. And to be honest, anyone can join. If you're white, you can join. Black, you can join. And anyone can join, right? And this based on right, it was actually quite cool just going around. But now it has become so terrible. It's because right, what I believe is sucky now is I feel like as if like how much fucking capitalist it has become. Like before, it used to be free, but now, right, the free food takes us like half the line. And if you want to get some food right now because you're extremely hungry, you have to go towards the food stands that are much more like there's similar food stands, but these will actually cost money and have way less lines. And this is the difference. Like, is that it should just be free. Like the things I expect to just cost money is like merchandise. So like instruments because I sell instruments. I got one instrument from and it's just something called ding 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 ding.
That probably does
But like what is it? It just feels as if like if they increase the funding by 600 million, it'll be enough in order to make it so that Versace would be much more fun.
doesn't sound like much, but 10 years down the line, the last 5 UK Christmas number ones have been a series of novelty songs about sausage rolls.
There's no way. There's no way. Fine then. Let me look at top Christmas song. Of course, okay. These are all the same songs. Wait, these are all the same songs. Top Christmas released in 2023. There's no way. Santa doesn't know you how I doesn't know you like how I do. Hey yo, say that to your little child. That's a fucking court case. Yeah, I don't really find it, but I could find that's easily believable. Where like I love sausage roll, lad baby. I know. That's a fucking song. What the hell? Like, why is that a song? I thought that was just gonna be like a There's no. What the hell? What? I love sausage rolls. I love sausage rolls. Now you must be asking like, what the fuck? So basically, sausage rolls, like sausage rolls. I swear to God, like what the hell? What the hell? Like I feel like it's like the UK is like if America has to describe the UK, it's Greg's and sausage rolls and like brew and shanking people up if they did any little research into it. And I have to go and piss. Hope to God I don't get shanked up in the bathroom. Lovely diarrhea on earth. That was the screams of me taking a shit.
In this frenzy of balancing budgets, the Tories
I don't have my, I watched a video during my time on the toilet. The, the Edinburgh, because basically Tatum to go to Edinburgh, and due to that, right, you know what Edinburgh decided to do, the government? They started to kick everyone out, and basically the homeless population is, some of the homeless population is living under tourist hotels. So basically hotels made for tourists, and basically, right, due to that, right, there's gonna be a lot of people coming to Edinburgh, and that means so that they forced a lot of people out onto the streets. They literally did. Like they go like, oh yeah, we got some nice accommodation for you, but it's Jimmy temporary. Since that if a major celebrity, I don't know, like John Cena or Randy Orton comes in, like we'll make sure that that home just gets taken away. It's more socialist than like actually helping the people. Like it's very socialist, and due to that one, they made so that and as it's it could be capitalist because they're helping the economy actually grow. Anyways, basically, yeah, basically, this makes so that it's more capitalist, and I just hate it. I just generally hate it because it's simple as that. It's just absolutely ridiculous how this is actually going. Like, I feel like it's in the UK, unless we have like a savior or like someone who can actually save the UK from everything, we may not actually have like a good solution to every problem that we have. And it all started because a bunch of cunts went into fucking parliament and gone, we're changing this and making so that we're gonna generate more money.
seemingly forgot that there were people on the other side of those spreadsheets, and soon society began to quite literally collapse in on itself.
Not yet.
St. Mary's Hospital in London.
Is that St. Mary from the back? It looks like Newcastle, but if it was 1980. That's literally so old. That literally looks like Victoria. That looks like World War Two. Like, if that what it looks like, then it should just be, it should not be a hospital no more. It should just be more like a place, like a museum. Because that feels more like a museum than a fucking place.
London has rotting floors, flooding, collapsing ceilings, and sewage spilling out of the drains onto the outpatient ward.
That's disgusting.
But St. Mary's Hospital doesn't qualify for urgent investment to repair these issues, because there are at least 5 other hospitals in worse condition.
What the fuck? So how so they cut down funding so hard. In fact, when the hospitals that needed the most can't even get the proper funding because they cancelled it so much. They've also gone like we're cutting the funding by 100% because that's what they're practically doing. Because none of the shit that they actually need repairing is going towards repairs. I feel like as if the government like they may go like, oh yeah, we're still surviving, but surviving barely because then like one more wrong move, and the whole community of the UK will just collapse into a shithole. Like more people will be moving out of the UK than moving inside the UK, and that's terrible because it makes so that the economy will collapse even more. And I could predict by like 2040 or 2050 or maybe 2060 if they don't sort out anything that the UK could just be like an abandoned country. Like a country ceases to exist. And like everyone else have died or moved on to another country. Because simply the UK is, even though it's really has tight relationship with the USA, it doesn't like. I feel like it's that the European Union also contradicted that also because people may go like, oh yeah, if we leave the EU, we're gonna have a better solution to it. But then as soon as they left, it just felt more shitty because simply like if they didn't leave, they would have had like was it enough money from like the bank account that the EU had in order to repair some of the major housings.
And there isn't enough money to repair them all. One hospital in Cambridge is so dilapidated that it is unsafe to treat overweight patients on the upper.
Imagine your fucking hospital is so bad to the point that Nick Connor Avocado going for his weekly fat removal just ends up falling through the fucking floors. He just fucking falls. You go like, oh my god, there is a 300 step. Now go back to 250th.
Floors because the structure could give way at any moment. There
How is that
There are
unsecure?
schools that are only avoiding bankruptcy because every time the ceiling collapses, they get an apology payment from the company that was contracted to build the school.
But so they don't feel like they just get like, oh, like, I'm a sorry payment. I'm so sorry that this thing fell on your student and killed 5 people. Here's a little payment of £1.
Some areas were exempt from budget cuts, like benefit payments, for example. So the goal
They make all of these other things exempt from budget cuts, because these things that have budget cuts and ones that they do budget cuts to, we actually need, and the ones that they remove from budget cuts is benefits, and they still don't remove that.
became to get as many people off benefits as possible, and some of the ways they tried to do this are downright cruel. People on housing benefits who have a spare bedroom in their house could be forced to pay a penalty. This would
That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. You having a spare bedroom. Oh right, if you have a spare bedroom, nah, get taxed for that. You might as well just be ridiculous, because they're trying to milk the money of the working class, just so that now it just feels Victorian again. What does it feel Victorian?
would encourage them to move to a smaller house, thus reducing the overall amount of benefits that
But that makes it so it's more cramped.
need
You mustn't tell everyone, like, if you don't live in a 1 centimeter box, then you'll just be
to
penalized.
be paid. But some people need a spare bedroom in their house to store medical equipment, because 2/3 of the penalty payers were disabled.
That's one way I had to show respect to your fucking community. Tax the disabled.
This was a tax on low-income disabled people, and hundreds of thousands fell into poverty as a result.
Yeah, that's just a massive fuck you from the government. Like, they're asking you to join the fucking army, because it'll be beneficial for your community. But at the same time, they go over to the community and just say a massive fuck you. Like, they're gonna, like, you don't basically vote for me. Well, fuck you.
How much did this policy save? After 2 years, 390 million.
But
Not even 1 day of health service funding. Estimates for the number of people killed by strict welfare policies run into the tens of thousands.
what the fuck? That's absolutely terrible. So they just rather go, yeah, let's just kill a bunch of people. Let's just treat this like North Korea, just so we can raise up like a little amount of money, but not enough in order to run 1 day of free healthcare.
The Conservatives have created one of the most frugal governments in the developed world, and contributed to the longest and deepest period of wage losses since the Napoleonic Wars.
What the hell?
The last 14 years of Conservative government have been worse for your finances than the Great Depression. In a modern society, when the government ceases to work, everything ceases to work.
Well, no shit, because that's how the government run. Because I feel as if now the government is so deep in. In fact, right, if the government just ceases to exist, people will just be confused of what to do. But just focus on what they just act like as if it's just normal again, but just without taxes and shit. Like, and then like policing could just be voluntary, or you get paid, but all the funding, like, there'll be taxes, but it goes towards one massive bank account that'll be used in order to pay for like services and shit. So you still don't need the government, but at the same time you still need them just so they can actually provide the basic functions. But still though, it's just ridiculous how that they that how that the UK still collapses, really still collapses despite the fact they don't have a government. Even if they have a government, they still collapsing. So like,
The British economy has seen no growth in the past 15 years. The median salary in Britain hasn't changed in over 15 years. If we had maintained the pace of wage growth we had before 2008, we would have, on average, about 11,000 more pounds in disposable.
I know, but it's just that they decided to just put it for the media and just adjust it to inflation, because simply like if they adjust it to inflation, it'd be much more cheaper than just absolutely adjusting it for anything else.
Income each. The average family in Poland and Slovenia is set to be better off than the average British family by the end of the
But
decade.
so if you're a fucking Russian, or you live in a country where it's been a dictatorship, you have actually more money than the fucking capitalist ruled UK.
People who live in the former East Germany who spent 44 years under a communist dictatorship, are now richer than the UK average. It wasn't always like this. Cast your mind back to 2007. I was in year 3 and spending all my allowance on Club Penguin. Things were far from perfect, but materially, we were all better off. Huge strides had been made in reducing child poverty. Crime had been on a downward trend since 1995, and the health service was in such good shape that people complained the waiting list to see a doctor was too short.
Imagine people just complaining, go like, it's just too short. Like, they go like, oh yeah, I want a dentist appointment booked on Thursday. They go like, nah, come in today.
If I ring up and ask, say, on the Monday for an appointment on the Wednesday, no, you'll have to ring back Wednesday morning. That's right.
Well, sorry, yeah, but surely they're not saying to you that you have to have it quicker than you wanted. Well,
Per capita, Britain was one of the richest countries in the world, beaten only by a few tax havens and oil states. The average British person was richer than the average in the USA, France, Japan, Australia, and Canada, but in 14 short years, we threw all of that away.
We didn't throw it away. It's just that the fucking cunts that were fucking born inside of rich ass families fucking got that shit and just threw it away because it would make them richer. One main advantage, it made them richer. One disadvantage, it made everyone into roadmen and fucking make them act cool and hard and shit. And I get it over. Yes, there is there's more fights than there has been in like probably over like a couple of years. There's still be fights, but they which was smaller compared to fucking like in the UK. And it's because right, people act roadman, and it's because of social media. Plus, it's because right, they're influenced by the poor areas because the government doesn't really give a shit about them, and the only people that give a shit about them is other roadmen. Makes so there's a community going on, right? And it makes so that the people act like roadmen grow up like roadmen, and therefore they act super hard and tough, and they just end up getting murdered, or they end up murdering someone, and that will sentence their life. They will end up getting sentenced for that murder. Like they go like, there's a choice to do that, but to be honest, do you really have a choice? Like if you're hired to murder someone just so you can put food on the table for like yourself, then like there's like no choice because you simply do anything what it takes. If it refers to Eva Smith, how that you need to do that, she will actually do absolutely anything until she takes her own life. That's what it feels like about the low wage, where people just do anything just to get themselves a little bit of money and then just die. And no, right, but the UK, right, it had right a store where like it sold sofas and shit, and I kind of remember that. And there was also a government building nearby. It was within the city and it was good. And basically, right, and then after 2011, actually 2012, I was on the Madness Center. If you're such a Madness Center, then go to it, and then after that, if you go do this, basically, this is the back end. Then this was 2017, 2018. I don't know why they fucking locked that though. What's the point of locking it? Like, is people going dumpster diving? Like, I just noticed that. Madness Center. Basically, right, I'm gonna move my lava lamp real quick just so I can get to the nearest road. Uh, yeah, around here-ish. So basically, right, you go down, you go down, you go down. Basically, this is the heart of the UK. Like, even though, like, when I go down Wolverhampton Roads, I feel happy. Like, even though it looks shit, I feel like as if it is much more cleaner than probably any other place across the UK. Like, especially on August of last year, it has been extremely clean. Like, this is 10 out of 10. But if you look back in the day, this is what it used to look like. It used to look so old, but it had more buildings. That's the main thing. So it had more buildings. For example, you have like a building down here where like this is a government building. This one is supposed to be some other building, right? I think it was some job center. I don't know. This was a citizen advice bureau. It used to be open and it just closed down. Think I don't know what think was, but it's part of the NHS. Basically, right, the Wilco's was open. Basically, it was actually quite good, and not that, but there was often buses. And the store that I was talking about is here. It seems kind of close from that perspective. Yeah, basically, I'm having this one. Basically, it was just open and it was big and humongous, and you could just. And there was a club over here, Oceana, and that was a club, right, that you could have gone into, but I was too young, and now it turned into an adult education center. Is that really a big one? Like, is this the center? Or is this just a sign leading to the center? Because I haven't even seen any progress on it. Oh, now you're just fucking sensitive. What the fucking censored cunt is this? Yeah, look. Fucking, so basically, it's a housing? No, before that, it was a club, and I think. Oh, yeah, it looks like a club, though. You can just go in the boogie and shit. I don't know, but now it just turns into absolutely dog shit. Like, I don't know why. Like, and then, what is it? Like, it used to look like. I feel like as if back in the day would have been much more better. Like, if I had to relive, like, at least for one day, it would have been like. This is 2016, by the way. And trust me, look at it, like, even though it may be busy, like, it still could just be good, though. But now it's just that people stuck in their homes and shit. And it is because, right, parents are scared by the fact, right, because of increasing crime. And the UK government ain't doing shit about it. Like, I feel like I said back in the day, parents used to let their children go out and free and shit. But now they won't because they literally allow so much crime to happen without, like, any punishment happen whatsoever, to the point that it just lets it happen, right? Like, I just simply don't get it. I feel like as if now, right, the next generation is just gonna be like after my generation. Like, next generation, Hannah Montana, can you stop blocking the fucking sidewalk, you bitch? Um, yeah, they're gonna be stuck in their homes and shit now. Thank you. All I had to do is just consume bus. Yeah, this is the courthouse. Where they're building it. And look at this. This is travels. And this used to be so small. Like, I feel like this one was before they had that massive expansion, which is simply you just going up to the bus and just hopping in, or like it was a bus parking lot. I think it was one or the other. I don't know how it worked because I haven't really. Yeah, this was the modern one where like you have to walk in and the bus. But like this was how it was back in the day. You can see the major differences, and not only that, but fucking hell, like I feel like as if like I could live in here for at least 10 days. But then right after I'll just say that this looks like a shy house. There's fucking Johnson, there's TJ. It just feels like if they removed the restrictions of it. So this is where the Grand Theatre is. This used to be O'Connor's, and yeah, Grand Theatre. This is since 2011. I don't believe that. I remember more like 2017. Like, still that. There used to be like a tech store where I used to go in and you like repair your shit and shit, you know. And that went out of business because most things that existed since 2011 are broken out apart from if you're just super rich because simply it's so damn fucking expensive. In fact, like, what's the bloody point? Like, of trying to fund something when like you just gonna lose money every single year. So like most businesses just stopped existing because simply by the fact that they'll get bought by other places or they just simply get abandoned. I feel like as if pre 2020 was when like that was actually started to actually happen. Because what I can remember right, is that during the time right I can remember one thing that is during that time, before 2020, about 2019, 2018, stores were starting to close down mad ASAP, and it's because, right, it's not because of the pandemic that was actually happening earlier on, but it's also because that simply what was happening was that people just absolutely like can't afford rental shit or any of the anything whatsoever. And due to that, right, this made it so that they couldn't even afford like even to keep up their businesses open, even during like the COVID pandemic times. I know it's a shocker that you still have to pay for your building, despite the fact that you have no customers. So basically, most businesses just died, and after post, it just felt like a ghost town because like. Parents were worried that their children would actually get sick. The government was worried that they're gonna get more people sick. It just felt like as if like it was just a shithole overall. And Boris Johnson did nothing right. It felt like as if he was over dramatizing. Like I was great his video on it, and I kind of agreed in that it was over dramatized by the fact that simply it was just a danger. It was just simply an unknown virus. That's the main thing. It was just simply an unknown virus that they didn't knew at the time. And due to that virus, so that this unknown virus was worrying because they thought that it was gonna commit mass death and basically it was gonna hurt loads of people, and the only people that were hurt by it is old people or people with like disease and shit. So I think they got the missed idea of it because simply by the fact that they actually believed originally that it was actually about hurting really like it was hurting like um people of any ages. And like even if you got COVID, like it wasn't really that bad. Like I can still remember that haircut at the time, the Anthony Diaz and Ian Heacock haircut. And yeah, then yeah, this is the road down to New Cross. You wanna know how I remember this? Cause I've been to New Cross. Because right, I'll tell you all the things I swallowed. But I swallowed two things in my seven days. Number one, a fucking staple. So you know the single staple, like a single staple. I swallowed that right. Went to the hospital. The second one was AstroTurf. So basically, what AstroTurf was it? So I basically swallowed like little bits amount of AstroTurf, little bits amount of like staples. Went in and they go like, "Are you lying?" But then no, because I felt it. But then because I later explained, they got like, "Oh yeah, understandable." But like, still though, like. And then she go like, "Are you trying to skip school?" I go like, "Bitch, why the fuck would I skip school when school already finished? I've done this after school, and school just finished, and instead of and they go like what school are they trying to think I'm gonna skip? Like they think they know that I'm Indian, so they trying to think that I'm trying to skip private school or something like tuition. So I decided to send myself to the hospital. Oh yeah, so I had to fake a diagnosis. I just swallowed like 50 staples. I decided to just serve up a bowl of staples and just eat them. But yeah, that's what I have to actually rant about. That is just absolutely like a shithole because simply the government doesn't really give a shit, and this caused the actual this caused like the modern world just to look absolutely shit in the UK. Like the it's like fiction versus reality. Fiction, where like we're gonna have like a really neat trees, you have neat roads, you have clean roads, we're gonna have everything looking amazing, sparkling, and dashing. Now it still looks the same.
The British economy has even performed worse than Russia, a nation crippled
How the fuck is your nation? How the fuck is your economy so shit to the point that it's actually collapsing by itself? I need to know if it's recording or. Oh, good, it's actually not actually recording because I'll fill up like 2 terabytes by the time I'm done.
by sanctions a costly war on its own doorstep, and where 1 in 5 people are alcoholics.
Well, no shit, that's a literal religion. A Russian religion. If you want to become Russian, drink a bunch of vodka, do a Slavic dance, drink more vodka, use vodka bottle in tank in order to shoot, drink vodka while operating gun, drink vodka while operating tank, dance with tank, dance on tank, and let tank dance. Like it's just about like alcoholism, and then with alcoholism with just anything to do with anything. Like Russian Federation 20.9. It's just silly because it's just a normal thing. It got normalized, but like drinking vodka is just normalized.
I cannot stress how utterly over it is for the UK. 1 in 3 children are in poverty. In
Jesus
places like
Christ.
Newcastle, it's as high as 41%.
What the? So if you're just born in Newcastle or somewhere else, you will have like a high chance now to just be absolutely broke.
1 in 20 children can't even afford to sleep on a mattress.
Bruh, like is the government really taking like they have so much money in their bank account? So why don't you just do us a favor and use some of that money, some of that unused, untouched money since the fucking 2000s, in order to help the economy just grow? Like in order just to help the economy just absolutely grow. Like, but no, they decide not to do that because I think like this will help everyone else, but it just helps capitalists.
800,000 people went to hospital for malnutrition last year, up 300% since 2013.
For 2013, and then they increased malnutrition by like 300%. That's just saying that the fucking inflation system is caused by the government and not by the people. Like I don't think like we haven't even got any protests about the government. Like at this point, we need to protest. We need to protest that we need to kick out the government and put in. Like at this point, I'm also start my own government team. But like, when like this new government team, and like all the others, that in fact the exact opposite. Like instead of being for capitalists, they're against capitalists. Instead of being against the people, they're for the people.
In 20
And due to that, right, that makes it so that they will add everything that to everything that I needed in order to help the economy stabilize, plus to actually help the looks of the UK much more better. And this Record Silver is has to be reverted back to like pre 2013.
10, the charity Trussell Trust delivered 41,000 food packages to struggling
To be honest, the year 2006 was like little because it was little,
families.
and then it started to increase,
In 2023,
and it's going
it
away.
was 3 million, an increase of 7,000%. Enemies of Britain, you should be doing victory laps.
I know, and Argentina is enemy with UK because of a small island, the Baltic island. And they try to take it over, but they got like we still have control of this island. But I don't know. I don't know what they do with the island. I think they have just like a base or something, but they still use the island. And basically, Argentina trying to invade the Baltic islands. They go like, nah, we ain't gonna allow that. So they just set over the fucking planes, and they they intimidated Argentina so much. In fact, they retreated. They literally retreated. Like, if Argentina hits the UK, then Lionel Messi should hit the UK.
Host a party, invite all of your friends. When the Conservatives arrived in office in 2010, the Treasury under Labour had been running a deficit of £150 billion a year trying to weather the 2008 global financial crisis.
Oh yeah, when I was like sell, 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 sell.
If another big crisis were to happen, like a public health emergency or a major conflict, Britain wouldn't have the money to deal with it. So austerity measures were, as David Cameron called it, fixing the roof while the sun was shining.
The sun was never shining in the UK, and the roof was never ever fixed. It was just the exact opposite. It was rotting.
It has now been 14 years since the Conservatives took office, 9 years since they shook off the Liberal Democrats and governed alone without compromise. Yet the roof was never fixed. things did not get back to normal when the deficit was under control. And when it did rain, it rained hard. Our crippled island stood no chance against the tumultuous 2020s. The Conservatives justified their budget cuts economically with a 6-page research paper called Growth in a Time of Debt, which suggested that too much debt would severely hamper economic growth and recovery from recessions.
What? No shit! Like, you're literally in debt. You're literally paying someone else's fucking mortgage or something. Like, you're literally paying money to other people while you're trying to sort out your own fucking shit country. And then instead of going back to the EU, like, they just try to stay on their own, like.
Needless to say, this paper was fraught with errors, including an Excel typo.
How the fuck are you fucking up with NXL? And not that bad, how the fuck are you fucking up with everything?
Which threw off all the calculations and drastically
Bruh.
overemphasized the results. Even the writers of the paper eventually said that the paper was wrong, and a revised version of the study revealed that austerity policies were much less effective than first thought. But that doesn't matter to the Conservatives anymore. They stopped pursuing financial stability long ago, and
I don't
are
know.
now engaging in a nefarious social re-engineering program that specifically targets the poorest areas of the country. That sounds like some kind of left-wing conspiracy, but no, they openly admit to taking from the poor to give to the rich.
I managed to start changing the funding formulas to make sure that areas like
Yeah, Mr. Sunak should just fucking go. Like, I feel like as if Conservative, everyone, no, just shut down the fucking government. Like, we need to revise the government of how it's actually ran. We should use 2020 not to fuck around with COVID-19, but just to actually fuck around with by the fact that we need to actually figure out what to do with the government post COVID. Because if the government ain't sorted, like if the plan ain't sorted for post, then like there's no point. Because like there's actually gonna be hurting the economy much more because there's no disease, but at the same time, like, you don't know what to do.
this are getting the funding that they deserve. Because we inherited a bunch of formulas from the Labour Party that shoved all the funding into deprived urban areas.
Yeah, the Labour Party was actually doing something quite good. And all it was a good thing, it was in fact helping the funding of actually deprived areas just so they could actually have a better area to live in.
Then that needed to be undone. I started the work of undoing that.
Why did they literally just said we need to undo that? Like, how the fuck is that not cancelled for it? But yet there's a fucking MP, right, that has been cancelled in year 2010 because, right, you ate a fucking sandwich. How the fuck is eating a sandwich related to fucking cancellation of your fucking government? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you might as well just cancel Richie Sunak right now. Oh wait, we can't because he's conservative. And due to that, cancelling would just be impossible. No, 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 that'd be absolutely terrible.
But is that the end of the story? After all, we're
But if you eat a sandwich, you're fucking out of here.
only 10.81% of the way through the runtime of this video. It turns out that many of our nation's problems are actually decades old, and when the Tories quite literally ripped up the social foundations of the nation, they brought all of them out into the open at the same time. A cacophony of catastrophes, aren't we lucky? If you live in Britain and you're around my age, you probably scarcely even remember living in a world outside of late trains, littered streets, shuttered shops and crumbling schools. My viewer base is mostly 18 to 30-year-olds who for the first time in a century are more likely to be living with family than having their own home.
To be honest, though, it seems like as if if you compare it to US with the UK, it seems like as if the UK has much more bigger ones. It's just because your parents bought houses in a time where fucking uh in a time where houses were cheaper and they were much more had higher value, and due to that, man, this made so houses were much more cheaper. But now there's no point because you have to inherit a house from your parents in order to simply live in it, and then by the time your parents die, I don't feel like it's if now because like people will have children in houses that their parents live in because your parents don't want to hear you fucking like that's the main thing. And just to that, man, I believe that the population is on a steady decline, and if they don't sort it out, it will be an abandoned country.
Home. You should be out enjoying your 20s, throwing parties, having loads of sex, making
Having lots of
a
sex.
name for yourself. How is that possible if you're stuck in your childhood bedroom, still with your Mr. Men bed sheets from when you
I know. Basically, my parents have promised me that we're gonna get ourselves a new house, right? But how the fuck can we when? God. How the fuck can we when fucking houses are, even though they're small as hell? Look, 127. Two. These are two. This is literally like you want 100,000 could do. This one is not bad. Oh wait, that's literally my bedroom. So basically, you have three bedrooms. So it's juiced. Oh my god, no chase sort. Like some of the houses, like this one, it should be at least 100, or at least 50. But no, they decided to make it 230. Like that, they just do this. Like these are all the houses in my area, and there's these houses, and they're just absolutely like. Some of them are absolutely small as hell. Like I don't really know what happened, but the new houses now are much more smaller compared to the houses back in the day. Like even though some of the houses may look massive, they're absolutely tiny from the inside. I remember I got to one of the housing just to buy ourselves a new house, and it was so fucking small. And the landlord was shocked. The landlord was shocked because like the girl, she literally looked like with a pug face. Girl, you can't even see what my face, but imagine like a shocked pug. As I got, like, you haven't told me that there were pets nearby, and you tell me how many pets there were. Plus, yeah, but also told me that this was a shithole. Look, I was thought this was gonna be a nice sized house, but no, it was a fucking house crammed between a fucking mansion and a regular house. Why? Like, just why? Like property type, like bedrooms. So we can have like these, not 10 bedrooms, like one bedroom to like at least like to these four. And yeah, you're gonna get some like, or if you want to just go 4 to 4. And then like these houses are gonna be mad expensive, you know. This one should not be it because this one looks like a fucking flat, or it looks like something that's or it looks like a fucking old ass like betting station. Like some of these are like expensive as hell, and there's a like you might as well just go from like the price is insane, and most of them were like about 30 to 75, and that's not even like, and yeah, that's too expensive. Like, if you go to no minimum and no max, then you go to prices. I've actually seen the inside of this. Is this the inside? It looks so fucking old. Did they take this in 2011? That just looks depressing. That. So you get yourself a house in here. But to be honest, if I want a house, I would want it up on the upper floors. But still, though, that's actually quite cool. Like you can live in the heart of Wolverhampton, near the schools. You have like Dishcam, you have Progress, and you have Gracie. Like this is for people who want to just live like you can even like it's evaluation. You can even like find like evaluation of your house, and this will find out how much you actually get. And if you then you can actually use this in order to, like, if you're planning to sell your house, you could use the in-depth like evaluation in order to figure out how much your house is worth. Then right after you basically sell it, then you get the money, and then you find out how much money you actually need in order to move out and go to like a bigger house. Cause like the houses right now are just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, you have fucking 40 times. You have like apartments where like you have apartments like these and apartments like these and basically most of the apartments are basically really modern and realistic, and some of them are just absolutely goddamn shitty. There's one over here, so you're facing this way. Yeah, if I. But to be honest, so this is like I'd just say this is probably gonna be a house that I'm probably gonna get. Like, who knows? Cause like apartments is probably like cause like instead of getting like a proper house now, cause people like really want to like move and stuff. They much. Oh, look, it's 2 bedroom. It's a retirement property. So if you're not retired, you can retire peacefully, knowing that you have a retirement home. But it just Miles UK location. What? Guardian price 2.4 million. It should also have Kim Kardashian photo of her booty cheeks. It was for 2.4 million. This house 2.4 million. Okay, it's 10 bedrooms, understandable. But still though, I know that, but your mobile signal is absolutely shit. So yeah, cancel tax. Like this guy, like, if you don't know how this will work, like he's like, oh yeah, you don't know shit, just ask it. Like so, if you would put a deposit in for 25 years, how about 6 years? 35. How about for 1 year? How about want to pay within 1 year? Would that be like at least like a million? 185,000. So I am a first time buyer. So 199. So these houses are absolutely ridiculous. Like if this was more modernized, then like sure people would be buying it. But it's just have like if you're gonna have a fucking Asian house, at least improving it by making it look more modern. Cause you can't just have like a fucking house that you just found abandoned and just sell it for 10 million. Because that'd be absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like it just feels like I don't know what else to actually say apart from the fact that people are not gonna move out of their houses, and the reality is right. Soon as you're done with sixth form, soon as you're done with education, you're fucked. You're going to the lovely world of you're fucked. Where the old fucking bastards will still control whatever the fuck you do, while the younger people, are still getting fucked right in the ass extremely hard. Drake must be jealous because he never knew Rishi Sunak would be fucking so many minors in the asshole like this. Like I kid you not, like why people talk about Drake talking to like a minor when fucking Rishi Sunak is literally fucking them in the ass every single fucking time when he mentions about young people. You go like, oh yeah, young people, you must go inside the army and we must make sure that it's extremely expensive. Then there's Birmingham and there's like Birmingham's only two closest cities, so basically this one is Wolverhampton. No, this was Birmingham. I'm not gonna lie though, that one looks really good. No copyright music. So this is the house. Extremely small, extremely cramped. Imagine how you'd rather just jump out of a fucking roof Yeah, not that good. Absolutely shitty. 0 out of 10. Uh, this is the floor plan. So you have two bedrooms. You have a larger kitchen and dining room. You have two of them. You have two of them with two bed. You know what? How will I actually prove this? It'll be very easy. Remove this and remove this. Use this as like, to be honest, remove this. Like, or like you can keep this. Like, it depends on. You can actually remove this and make it put it here, make it much bigger, or you can keep it here, but just remove this and then what is it? This could just be the lounge and the dining room, and then this could just be like a very small kitchen, or you could just keep the kitchen there. But to be honest, like, just for 4 million, you must as well go suck my dick, because it's absolutely goddamn shitty. Like for that much, you might as well be sucking it hard. Over 900,000, you are definitely going deep in. Like, so these houses are actually selling for absolutely ridiculous amount of money. It's just fucking insane. Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is this? Like, they just ask you just to. This is about the highest prices. What the hell? The lowest prices. I don't know what POA means, but 19,000 for this shitty housing is just not good. Like, what the hell? So there's one that looks like a fucking village. What else? So you know these houses, these ones over here. There's in fact a small bedroom that you could just go to. Yeah, this is your entrance. So you basically go up top, then you enter. This is your kitchen. Yeah, make yourself at home when you just are at the fucking home. You have carpet everywhere, and then you have a small, comfortable environment where like you could put a TV up. Okay, not that bad. And then you go all the way up to the top, and then what is it? You enter one of the rooms. One of the rooms. It's not that bad, not bad of space. This one also not. And this one, I bet it's supposed to be for the office and shit. It's just that it's absolutely old. It's like so fucking old. Like, all of these are fucking old as hell. Like, no wonder people get fucked over literally. Even oh will until the government actually until the government finds out how to actually finds out how to. Nah, 70,000 for that. This, this. You got to be joking. You are got to be joking. Premium listing, premium listing. What about you? So much see about what we so much share. Oh, you're basically also buying inside a fucking company. So you're not only buying a property, but you also buy inside of a property. So these are so basically right, you have the what's the conservatory? I don't know what that means. So basically right, for 70,000 you also buy inside of the management company. Oh wait, you could just manage a company, or you could just buy it out full. So I'm just that broke to the point that you might as well just buy it out like a company like this. To be honest though, what are they though? What actually are they? Probably still all social housing assets. It's the employable service. Oh, so basically you could buy or own the actual mini heart company from this. Are they scamming? Yes or yes? get more and more tired by the fact that I'm just seeing absolute rip-offs left, right, and centre and more scams. I'm just getting, like, this is getting tired. Like, looking at properties, this is what every teenager should do. They should look at properties and know how fucked of a situation they're in. Like, what the hell? This one, I believe, is not that bad. It feels big, it feels spacious. Except for the fucking kitchen, but that's fine. And the bathroom looks wretched as hell. So, if you change the tiles in the bathroom, then, like, sure. But then, like, to, like, flat ones, like, I feel like it's just, like, at this point, like, he's not even renovated. They just renovated slightly. Just so they could just say that he's renovated, but, like, it's just enough, just fuck you over. But yeah, we're starting to get into the 100,000s. And this is starting to get into the buildings where it's apartments now. And oh, these ones I actually heard about this one. I thought you get a mansion. Is this a mansion? You get 2 bedrooms, you get a hall, you get a bathroom, you get a lounge, and you get a kitchen. But to be honest though, I could just use I will actually buy this, not gonna lie. This is actually something I will actually buy. Anyway, so basically you have this. That doesn't look that bad though. It actually doesn't look that bad. Like just if you improve some of the infrastructure, then like sure, it doesn't look that bad. Like place the carpet maybe because the carpet looks as if it got pissed on, and the tiles on the bathroom walls, and the bathroom floor. Yeah, I'll definitely smash on this. If you do smash it past, there's two that will actually smash right in. Uh, I don't know why, but I heard that there was actually a property on uh flat. So let's see world. So divided by yeah, it should just be like you houses and shit, and they never built, they never start building on it. They go like, we'll do it, but it's just that what the hell is this? Did I just download a virus? I think I just downloaded a virus. Help! 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 I think I downloaded a virus. I never knew the government would actually give me a fucking virus. Yeah, go to easy.gg for your free Robux. It's time to go to Google Maps. Google Maps. Trying to find it. Oh, you have to actually try to find out the perfect spot. The way I know that. If I had to memorize it, then it should be somewhere around here. Yeah, here. If you manage to click like should be hard back. Keep clicking. Keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking. See? One and 2 bedroom apartments. Bell Place. Wolverhampton. It seems like it's too small. Landmark Key Apartment Complex. So basically, right, this is one of the buildings. Yeah, this is definitely the housing. So basically, right, this is the housing they expect to make like a really small housing. Basically, it's gonna be on the side of the road. This is where Coast PC World is, and basically what it's designed right is to make is to turn this into a much more functional car park while having this being built with actual balconies. I think everyone gets at least 2 balconies, and that would actually be cool. Like, Dubai people have like 2 balconies. Like, but to be honest, they're actually not that bad. Like, so this is the ground floor unit plan. So basically, like, you walk in, and then you have everything. And these, that's what they are. They're probably Lego bricks. What build program is actually following when the progress that you had in 2021 is nothing. Like, I see no material being placed on the site. Like, there's a bunch of pictures about it. Two for 2.5 million is just insane. 2.5 million is just insane. It's not gonna be 2.5 million because are they trying to sell a bar? Like, what is these? These are all different types of bars. Like, they're selling houses that are at least 10 decades old. Like, what the hell? They even have doors for the offices. Like, what the hell is this? Due to only accommodation. Bro, if you said this is on due to only, you might as well just piss on the property. Because, like, it's just so terrible. Like, that. They in fact rented out more houses. Because if it wasn't for the green area, the modern housing wouldn't even exist. And if it wasn't for government permission in order to build much newer housing, then you would have had, in fact, much more, um, much more people just absolutely, like, building modern houses. Like, it'd be much more modern to the point that it would have been a futuristic Wolverhampton. But we can't. It's because what the government has to fuck things up.
You were a kid, subject to your nagging parents, the only other options giving away like half of your income on rent, or getting locked into a 35-year mortgage on the most boring house you've ever seen. That's not projection, just in case you thought it was. You probably didn't, but just in case that you did. Don't blame yourself. You're not a failure. Look around. We're all in the same boat. Nothing is new. Everything is at least 40 years old.
Words like the UK is aging so old to a point that it looks like an apocalypse.
Houses are so damn expensive these days. The average house price has increased 200.
I know because fucking it's not only because of landlords, it's because of everyone else. Because everyone else with the crypto, no, not crypto, everyone else with
20
landlording and shit has like the definition of trying to make as much profit as they can from the working class, and landlords is just mostly about like a bunch of fat people just buying out shit to the houses and then selling them houses at like a very high price, and this is enough money in order to buy another cheap house and do the same thing again and again.
4% since 1990, far outstripping wages over the same time period. The problem is we're being haunted by an unholy Frankenstein ghost of socialist Thatcherism. In In the 1930s, it was really cheap to build stuff. Interest rates were low, making it easy to borrow money and invest in new construction projects. You didn't need to ask permission to build. If you owned the land, you could build anything. The
Yep.
only rules were that the structure needed to be safe and well ventilated.
That's just simple.
Building was booming. In 1935 alone, 70,000 homes were built in London and nearly 300,000 across the whole UK, giving rise to the classic suburbs still around today. Construction became 17% of the UK economy and accounted for a third of all economic growth in this period. A lot of people didn't like this. The socialists within the Labour Party didn't like that private capitalist developers were dictating the national housing policy.
Yeah, but like, who the fuck cares? Because it was actually, in fact, helping people.
So, when Labour ascended to power after the Second World War, they introduced this, the Town and Country Planning Act of 1947. From now on, you must ask for government permission to build.
Oh no, that's probably the terrible thing, because they think like, oh right, this will stop capitalism, but they just made it worse because they made the government have much more power. Because like, even though they had the control over a country, they made it so that they had a control of the fucking economical downfall of it. Everybody go like, oh yes, because of the people's fault. It ain't about people's fault. It's about fucking people in the government just being stupid cunts and not even listening.
Anything, so that any and all construction would be in the interests of the public, not profits. Everything must be built with the approval of the local residents. The government, in theory being the representative of the local residents,
Yeah, right. Is that really represented that we must be all evil, hungry capitalists that really want to milk the money out of the working class?
could just give themselves planning permission, and for most of the post-war era, it was they who built most of the nation's infrastructure.
I know.
Then, when the Thatcher government took power in 1979, they slashed the budget of national and local construction projects, believing that the private market would simply pick up the slack. What they seemingly forgot to do was repeal the law preventing the private market from building anything. And what does a policy such as that look like several decades later? Under a plan drawn up by the Poplar Housing Association, 330 homes in Tower Hamlets would be demolished and replaced by 1,600 modern homes, with 600 being designated as low-income housing.
So basically, 1,000 would be not that affordable, but 600 would be affordable. This actually felt a better improvement than we ever had from the fucking government. That would be amazing.
There was also added space for retail and transport, right next to Canary Wharf, where all the high-paying jobs are.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, I think that law, they fucking forgot about it. And, like, due to that, right, they made it so, like, oh shit, we forgot that law, my bad. They should have got out my bad and just removed it, but they didn't.
That sounds like in the public interest to me, and the public agreed. The council said yes, the planning board said yes, even the residents said yes in a referendum that was 90% in favour with a 90% turnout. But London's City Council
But London, the dick as it is,
rejected it because some people, quantity unknown, said that the buildings would be
yeah, this is where they don't make any sense whatsoever. Those would be too high. Like, why though? Like, if they're acting like as if like planes are gonna hit and helicopters are just gonna end up hitting the fucking buildings. Oh yeah, they're gonna like breaking news. We have this house that actually got hit. It's absolutely terrible. Let's look at what happened. So basically, the building was built too high and was in fact not totally made on purpose by the actual capitalist society in order to crash a plane purposely into the apartment, killing a bunch of families and a bunch of children.
too high? And so the story goes, year upon year, up and down the country. Private developer wants to build, a small minority of local residents get up in arms about it, and the local council, not wanting to lose any voters, denies
I don't know why they do that.
the plan.
Like, if it's small amount of people, but the majority say yes, just fucking do it. But no, they really want to keep like those little majority people, little people. It wasn't it wasn't the little amount percentage of people really matter over the people that over the majority of the people. So basically, if you're part of the majority, you're the minority. If you're part of the minority, you're part of the majority. Kind of reminds me of something. I think it's something to do with the USSR.
Planning permission, and the nation continues to stagnate. Just look at how old our buildings
Damn. Like, there's no blue. There's literally no blue. It's just all fucking 1946 to 1970. What the fuck? Like, look at, you can see how much development Europe is, and then you see fucking UK, and then you see how much
are
they're not.
compared to the rest of Europe. The majority of people live in houses built before 1970. Last
I know, they might as well be crumbling apart.
year, the
If you get like an earthquake, the UK, would just be in bankruptcy. It would never ever pay out anybody because it's gonna be so broke because of one thing. That is that if an earthquake ever hits, because we're gonna be so broke because the houses can't even survive them.
estate agents Foxtons had nearly 100,000 applicants competing for over just 2,000 available properties.
But is this? I think this is about talking about the housing crisis and that they won't even do anything about it.
The waiting list for a council house in Brent is 14 years, with
Jesus.
20,000 people on the list.
Oh my
And
god.
as in places where supply is limited, those with deeper pockets always win. If you ever do manage to escape that tier of the history classroom poster, you get locked into a 35-year mortgage, enslaved to a bank, giving away half their paycheck to a landlord who is oftentimes an actual lord.
1 billion win for actual credit for develop for Cardi. So they wanted to build like a fucking village. What the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, they actually think they're lords now. If you think like a whale is a lord, you must have say,
Paying off a house that was built in 1925. The streets of Strasbourg and Frankfurt, even Warsaw and Prague, are filled with boutiques and small businesses and cafes. On British streets, you will find nothing except Greggs, a WH Smith, or a betting shop if you're lucky.
yeah, because Simi Greggs has been most successful because how good their shit is, and this means so that they're everywhere. I mean, not everywhere. So like, they won't survive anything because if Greg shut down, that means like the UK economy is like dying.
Independent businesses are priced out. Entrepreneurialism in Britain today is mostly drop shipping and ticket scalping.
I know.
This is why we are thousands of pounds poorer than our German counterparts. We are the only country in Western Europe that is like this. Spain has built over 10 high-speed rail lines since 1992, most of them much longer than HS2.
I know, and yeah, HS2 is just a bunch of bullshit. Like, I kid you not, right? HS2 was gonna go from London to Manchester while going through Birmingham, but they did do that because it was too damn expensive, and they decided to just go fuck it, let's build like a quarter line. Yet other countries have much more money because they know how to sustain their economy, while the UK spends money probably on really expensive prostitutes because they must have been banging with big tits or something. Or they must have given the Viagra, must have done both because goddamn, if they're prostitutes enough, it'll spend like half the paycheck on them, no, half the taxpayer money on them, then there should be some banging.
In fact, for €30, you can get a first-class ticket with a 2-course meal included with any journey over 2 hours.
What the hell?
Why can't we have that? It's not a one-off novelty that gets featured in a Tom Scott video.
There's no country can do this. Fucking give you 2-course meals on a train.
It's a normal thing that normal countries have. And we
And even better, right? Countries have also agreed, like, you see, some countries have also agreed within the UK that, no, agreed within, like, Europe, that the tracks will interlock with other tracks from different countries. That's teamwork right there. But the UK just doesn't want any part of it. The only railway that they have is a fucking line from the UK to fucking France, and that's it. With like Wales, I feel like as if like trains tracks over crossing would just be like amazing.
We don't
Like we have like we replace all the normal tracks. Like I can not why we have like, tracks in the UK, but they don't even work. You wanna know why? Because right, we built them, then we abandoned it. The fucking one round they go, we just built fucking tracks, and we're not even using it.
have it. Britain's cities are more poorly served by public transport than those of any other wealthy
I know, and yet we have to be so dependent on it because apparently it's much more healthier, much more safer to do so than driving a car. But you must also just drive a car because simply the car is much more better. And not that right, but part of UK life is to use buses and shit. And if they are much more poorly served, then like we are definitely not gonna have buses in the future.
Western country, including the car-centric suburban hell of the United States. Brescia in Italy, population 200,000, has a fully automated metro line built in 2013, with plans for 2 more.
Damn.
Leeds, population 500,000, is the largest city in Western Europe without a light rail or metro system. It may have something to do with how the bureaucratic inquiries required to construct a new tram station can cost more than the inquiry into the Iraq War.
What the fuck? So basically, right, they're so fucked to the point that they need to sell more and more things and have less and less spending just so they can spend on one thing. What the fuck is the government on about? Like, they literally left the EU and now, right, they don't have enough money in order to stay in their own country. We're fucked.
A small minority of local residents have the power to block any and all development, even if it's for the betterment of society.
On guard.
Even if they benefit, like vetoing vital flood defences that could stop their homes from being destroyed because the defences would look kind of ugly.
That's just shitty, fam. Like, if I have that, then that'll be amazing. But no, we don't have any defenses. I feel like as if by the year 3000, the UK would just be like a single tiny island because of erosion. Like, because of land erosion, we have like a single tiny island, and yet we can't even afford barriers unless we actually like buy some from like foreign countries or get some funding from foreign countries.
House building targets have never once been met since they
Well,
were introduced 23 years ago. Not under the Tories, not under Labour. So instead, the Tories just abolished the targets.
Which looks to me like turning off your smoke alarm just because you don't like the noise that it's making.
oh shit, I'm burning alive. But this this fire alarm is really annoying.
The houses that do get built are poor quality, cramped, ugly, and lagging behind our European neighbours.
On guard.
They have to comply with the silliest of regulations, such as absurdly small window sizes.
That's kind of small.
This regulation apparently exists because climate change might make people want to open their windows more so they can get some fresh air, and small children could fall out of them.
Fucking ridiculous. No wonder my window looks like the size of my penis. It's actually so small. Like, I expect my window to be much more bigger. Like, what the hell? Because small children could fall out of it. Isn't that why we have, like, cages or, like, barriers to prevent that? Like, you can still have bigger windows. Just have, like, cages or barriers in front of the window to prevent it so that you could just have children going out of it. Like, it's like a miniature prison. But, like, it still solves the same solution, but you just rather not do that.
Instead of making windows smaller, why don't we just install air conditioning so people don't have to open their windows? Well, because air conditioning is more or less banned because it would use too much electricity.
What's the fucking point? Like, if that, because I thought it was gonna be bad shit, but no, it's because why it has more energy, it uses more energy, and due to that, right, it makes it sound like we're banning it. Then if that's bad, then my 1490 should be bad. Oh wait, it's not.
Can't we just make more electricity? Apparently not. Solar construction businesses have been waiting 15 years for permission to...
What the fuck? Yeah, we might as well just be burning more and more diesel because the fucking government doesn't even want to do anything about it. Like Like they go like, oh yeah, we support, we're against climate change, but they're secretly just for it because of the oil industry.
To install solar farms.
Because one group in particular have been very vocal in their opposition to green energy. Have you guessed who it is yet?
I thought I said Labour, or like, and then I saw Blair got like conservative.
That's right, it's the Green Party.
Yeah, that's literally unexpected. Imagine the Green Party trying to think about everything to do with green, but just does the complete opposite and cancels solar farms. What the fuck? That's just ridiculous. Fuck, why am I pressing?
2014, Surrey, Reigate Green Party opposes a solar.
It sounds as if they shoot them. They probably shoot themselves because they say Green Party and they say for sustainable matters, but yet they're not even doing anything sustainable. Like they're cancelling solar farms. They're planning fucking hydroelectric farms. They're planning not solar, water hydroelectric farms. But they're not even near any fucking ocean. What water are they gonna do it in the valleys? They could just turn a fucking valley into one.
Farm that could have provided green energy to over 3,500 homes. 2018, Kent. The Green Party opposes the installation of a new solar farm in uninhabited marshland. 2020,
Yeah, in uninhabited marshland, that would be just perfect because it's not gonna be used either way.
Hastings. The Green Party opposes plans to build a 2-megawatt solar farm.
Bruh.
2021, Derbyshire. The Green Party opposes any and all solar farms in the entire county, with Councillor Frank Adlington saying, solar farms are not the future.
Well, are they fucking blind or are they fucking deaf or are they just fucking old? Because when they go like this is not the future, but they go like sustainable is the future, but solar is part of sustainability, so solar is the future. They don't make any sense.
Of Derbyshire's energy sector. He goes on to say that if the Green Party were in government, there would be greater investment in offshore wind power, hydropower, tidal, geothermal, and other renewable technologies. Instead,
I think they're fucking old because they're trying to appease the old people. Because that doesn't make sense for a young person like me. Why would a person in Derbyshire would just make offshore wind power? They're just saying, I'm just gonna put solar panels in the fucking water and just let that to collect all the energy.
Mr. Adlington, Frank, I don't know if you've ever looked at a map of the county you represent, but it's landlocked. Second of all, you might want to check in with your fellow party members.
because East Suffolk Council, which the Green Party controls, have blocked the expansion of more wind farms in the North Sea.
Yeah, they're literally they're literally the opposite. They're both opposites. Like the fucking county next to them goes like, oh yeah, we won't allow you to do this. We won't allow you to simply produce solar wind farms. Then the other side just goes like, we don't allow you to build solar energy. Like they're just practically two opposites. It's like a yin and a yang, two opposites joined together.
Because they were alarmed by the current developer-led model.
But
What a weird group of people. Climate change is an existential threat to humanity, but don't do anything about it if it means somebody would make a profit from the solution.
Bruh. Like, we don't really care, but if it actually benefits people, then, like, just do it. Like, who the fuck cares about taking a profit? Like, that's what every single politician does, but yet they're too scared just to admit it. Oh, wait, they don't. They publicly admit it, but they just still get votes. Like, the fucking UK people are fucking dumbasses.
Horror stories from bureaucratic Britain go on and on and on. 13 years to build an offshore wind farm, £1 billion to rebuild a roundabout in Bedfordshire, Victorian-era telephone cables preventing the rollout of high-speed internet.
I know.
£9 billion and 22 years to build a 3-mile tunnel under the River Thames. This tunnel has produced 359,000 pages of paperwork and not a single shovel has been moved. Last year,
I know. Like, why would you spend money on something that you don't even do? It's like paying for like a product, but just not even getting it.
India landed a probe on the moon for $75 million.
35 million. But to be honest, though, with India is a major achievement because it makes it so that they're turning from evolving, no, evolving to developing slowly. Because that's the transformation. Because they have enough money in order to land a probe on the fucking moon.
We could have landed Britain on the moon 100 times.
But I think it's just like an over exaggeration, just so that they don't even want to do it. Because if they say it costs like 100 billion, and like they don't want to do it because they're scared of the actual price because of their own economical downfall because of what they fucking cause.
Cost of planning to build a 3-mile tunnel. And it's not just the big projects that get blocked. With the rise of smartphones, these iconic British red telephone boxes have become public urinals and billboards for prostitutes.
Bruh, you wanna penetrate my ass real quick?
But when local entrepreneurs wanted to turn this Lambeth phone booth into a coffee kiosk, locals rejected the idea because it was, quote, out of character in a conservation area of historic interest.
Presumably, this would ruin the historical value of a giant mural of a girl in a bikini.
But yet they allow prostitutes stickers on the fucking phone booths. Like, what the hell? Why? Like, this is just ridiculous now. Like at this point, the fucking British people don't know what they're thinking about because they actually just say one thing, thinking that they actually sound smart while doing it, but they're just fucking dumbasses as they proceed to fucking, as if slowly, very slowly, no, I mean by fastly, collapse a fucking an even shittier country to its fucking knees, or nubs, or stomach, or head. Fucking just drown the country.
It could very well be that we never get good infrastructure ever again. A report by the Resolution Foundation suggests that in order to fix our decrepit infrastructure, we would need to double taxes to raise the funds necessary.
But so we need double taxes just so we can get new infrastructure. But yet we have corruption, embezzlement, prostitution, that across the red booth. You have also Richard Sunak saying that they will take all the money from the working class and give it to the rich. Instead of doing the opposite, because that will actually, in fact, will be enough in order to simply fund housing. Like, even the UK is so shite. In fact, like they tried. I remember when they tried to actually, in fact, remove encryption. Like, it's because, like, since they made encryption, companies would just simply prevent any people in the UK from simply working, like, using social media.
Keep in mind that when this report was written, the Tories
Like, they're just asking just for hackers, just to hack everything.
have raised the tax burden to the highest ever since World War II. So we'd have to double that just to get
Jesus fucking Christ, that goes everywhere.
up to the standard of our fellow Europeans.
So it would seem that the government can't really do this alone. We have to return to the planning rules of the 1930s so that the private sector foots some of the bill. So long as it is safe and fit for human habitation, you should be allowed to build whatever you want. No permission required.
If you want to build a stadium in the Chilterns or something, that's when the neighbours should be consulted. You know what kind of place has rules like this?
Tokyo. And who'd want to live in a dense, overcrowded third world slum from hell like Tokyo? This is not Tokyo, this is a green screen.
But a strict planning system isn't the only sucker punch this act has had in store for British prosperity. The 1947 Act also introduced the concept of green belts. The land surrounding cities would be frozen in place, banned from being built on or altered in any way, even land that looks like this. Building on just 1% of greenbelt land could deliver 700,000 new homes. We reduced the size of the greenbelt by 10%, and that's 7 million.
It just feels as if the greenbelt just absolutely shit. Like, the people who are complaining are overstatistical, overstatistical environmentalists that don't even know what they're talking about. Like, we have, like, even if we just remove the greenbelt, we just have, like, enough land for nature sites. Like, the UK is just a fucking, it's just countryside connected cities practically. Like, the cities that are hubs, and then in middle of them there's just like a land, right, where it connects the cities to other cities by going on the countryside. The countryside is practically the land that needed in order to help join up two places.
New houses. Just Just 10%. Greenbelt defenders like to say that it's there to stop cities sprawling outwards, give the city's working class a beautiful place to explore, and protect nature. Although none of these claims hold much water. We could double the size of every UK city and it would still only cover 12% of the island, leaving 88% free to be left to nature. The average city dweller visits the Greenbelt only once per year, and almost all Greenbelt land is privately owned. The only way you can enjoy it is by hoping there is a public footpath.
I know, so what's the point?
With no other legal uses, this land is subject to intensive farming, which the UK National Ecosystem Assessment found is a net negative to the local environment. Empty fields are not protecting nature. The Peak District is nature. The Highlands are nature.
This is not nature. This is not something worth protecting.
Basically, I hate Clement Attlee. But his government introduced the National Health Service, the pride of Britain, that in 2020 was voted by the public as the coolest thing to ever exist, beating out James Bond, space travel,
But it's in 2020 though, so like, of course they're gonna be extremely biased.
and Obama. Wow, so surely it must be good, right?
Right?
In October 2020, during the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, revolutionary New York underground hip-hop artist MF Doom was checked into St. James's Hospital in Leeds. He had recently moved to
Oh yeah, this is what we're talking about. That MFD was... He's gonna explain it, but I don't know why they can't just check. That's my thing, because they were too lazy not to check, and this led towards his death, because they didn't know anything about him. So this made it so when they didn't know his allergies, and they just gave him like a similar medicine, but I think he was allergic to that medicine, so it just ended up killing him.
Leeds from London, because many fans will be surprised to learn that just like Christian Bale and Champagne, Doom was actually British. Despite living in America almost all his life, a loophole in citizenship laws led to his deportation from the USA in 2012. Doom is one of the most influential hip-hop artists of all time, given the honor of your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. His storytelling is sublime. Vaudeville Villain, a personal favorite of mine, follows the exploits of a time-traveling drug dealer who gets trapped in New York's Upper West Side in 1993. Undoubtedly, one of the GOATs. At the time of his admittance, Doom was taking medication for high blood pressure, but NHS bureaucracy prevented medical staff from accessing records from the London hospital that had prescribed him
I know why they did ban him or something.
the drugs. He had taken a different medication to usual and was developing a severe reaction. Within just a few days, Daniel Dumoulin was dead at 49.
Yeah, because of the fucking hospitals not working with each other. The might as well just be treated like Nazis.
His wife alleges that overworked nurses couldn't check on his condition as often as required. This story is not well known because fans of New York hip-hop and people interested in British healthcare policies are typically very separate groups. But MF Doom was just one of the estimated 300 to 500 people who die every week due to delays in NHS treatment.
I know.
That's
Because I've been to A&E and I kid you not, right? It's filled with a bunch of people. I kid you not, there's a bunch of fucking people all across the fucking hospital, and even if they look as if they're free, they're not even free for some reason. Like they're just chilling around, and it's because right, they cannot even be very efficient. They're the exact opposite. They wait forever and then they enlist you in. They just go here, give your paper in, wait 30 years, and then get called, and then just do it for the
20,000 people a year.
And this is because, and I know it's kind of sinful to say this, but the NHS isn't very good at keeping people alive.
well, no shit.
For 30 years, the UK has consistently had the lowest cancer survival rates of any developed nation. The NHS performs worse than average in the treatment of 8 of the
I love how it's happy music will go after this. They go like, yeah, happy music, yeah, you will die from cancer, yeah, we'll give you medicine that kills you, yay, yeah, you're not gonna live in the UK, yeah, a machete will go through your head, yay.
12 most common causes of death, including heart attacks and cancer. We are third worst in the developed world at treating curable illness.
But which I must have just say was the worst fucking country on earth.
Infant mortality is 27% higher in Britain than the Western European average. Since 2010, wait times for ambulances have doubled. More than a quarter of A&E patients wait more than 4 hours help. One of the few things the UK ranks the highest in is healthcare equality. So at the very least, whether you're rich or poor, white or black, we're all equally dead.
We're all equally fucked.
Of COVID-19.
But
Not only are the outcomes terrible, the pay for those working in the sector is truly appalling.
I know, like, I think people who thought they would be doctors would pay too well, but they're not. I think, like, now, people now, are not gonna be studying doctorship. Like, there's people like my friend, one of my best friends, he said that he's gonna be a dentist, but not a doctor. Like, I think because dentist is much more common than just being like a doctor. And basically, right, for that one, right, he's gonna get similar pay as probably someone working at McDonald's.
The
I don't know.
starting salaries for junior doctors in places like Australia, Canada, the United States and France can be up to double the £29,000 basic that junior doctors would earn here in the UK.
But you might as well just tell them to move out because 29,000 is just fucking ridiculous. They're balling you. They're blue balling you.
If pay had kept up with inflation, junior doctors would be earning £20,000 more per year. Other countries know this. Australia is now offering huge benefits for British medical workers to abandon the NHS and move down under.
So is that why so many doctors are leaving the UK and so many other people are leaving the UK? It's not because they don't really give a shit. It's just because like, the UK is collapsing.
But the UK is the main target where this ad will air from Sunday.
And it's why Western Australia welcomes you to be part of WA Health. Financial incentives available. Apply today. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
And it's working.
Oh look, Perth! Elimination Chamber, Perth.
1 in 7 doctors trained by the NHS have since moved to another country. Double as many as any other developed country.
Damn.
We are literally paying to train other countries' doctors and nurses. The unions have done their best to fix the situation, but let's not pretend they're not partially at fault. In 2009, the British Medical Association successfully lobbied the government to put a cap on the number of medical school places available to British students.
What the hell? So basically, right, even if you're studying extremely hard. Wait, let me look at one of my plans. I thought something was growing on my fucking plant, but nah, it's just some dead leaf.
Because they thought that fewer doctors would lead to higher pay.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Just reduce the amount of doctors and that'll increase higher pay. Yeah, that makes fucking sense.
And it worked. Due to staff shortages, hospitals have resorted to hiring freelance doctors to cover shifts, paying over £2,500 to hire one doctor for one afternoon.
Bruh, so they're basically just making it absolutely shit. Yeah, you might as well just say you're absolutely fucked.
What can we do to fix all this? Nothing. It's pretty hard to improve a system that is literally already praised as a god.
Today, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh were among those to celebrate 75 years of the National Health Service. The Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition read Bible verses for an institution which has often been described as the UK's national religion.
And I saw the Holy Spirit.
There's no way they're praising they're praising the NHS as a fucking religion. That's great. Just go like, nah, my religion ain't Jesus. It's the NHS. I must be up there going like, your system is fucked, and we're gonna help you by making by removing the cap of how many students can go to medical school. Yes, anyone can go to medical school now.
The New Jerusalem.
So whatever you're thinking, whatever crazy idea you come up with to fix the NHS, ain't happening. Because no matter what idea you come up with, the public and the media will accuse you of supporting the total abolition of the NHS, and that we will be only a few years away from being like Americans paying $50,000 for stitches, which makes any kind of meaningful reform politically impossible. None of these conspiracy theories ever come true. In fact, the King's Fund, a pro-NHS think tank, finds no evidence at all of creeping privatisation of the health service. Decentralising the system. Labour have been talking of giving away power. Perhaps the answer is making the NHS more local, for local people. Well, in 2003, Labour introduced foundation hospitals, giving NHS hospitals a degree of independence from the government. The British Medical Association, the Royal College of Nursing, and 130 backbench Labour MPs opposed the idea due to fears of privatisation.
That's the main thing. They all fear that it's gonna be privatized and cost money, but like it ain't actually happening. Like this is going so ridiculous. Like I feel like it's an NHS, a place of religion, and if we try and change it, like they're gonna think like you're just a terrorist trying to actually collapse the UK. But they're blind because the UK is already collapsing.
Guardian said it would effectively privatise NHS hospitals.
No wonder, because the fucking media's pumping it in, and everyone's believing it.
It didn't. Contracting private companies to run medical facilities. This is what they do in Sweden to keep down costs, because around 40% of GPs in Sweden are run by private companies contracted by regional health authorities. In 2012, the coalition introduced the Health and Social Care Act, which, among other things, made it easier for private companies to be contracted to do NHS work. The BMA said it was an affront to the public service ethos that glues the NHS together. The BMA must unmask this reform agenda for what it really is, the final step in the privatisation of the service. It wasn't. Paying for GP appointments. Among countries with single-payer healthcare, Britain is actually in the minority of countries without any form of upfront costs. An appointment with your doctor in Norway will set you back about £20. In France, a more modest £6.50. In Ireland, the appointment is free, but a blood test is €30. Of course, if you are low income or elderly or chronically ill, it's free. If a similar system was done in the UK, it could raise a few £billion every year. But last year, when a former NHS boss proposed a £7 a day payment for hospital stays to ease pressure on NHS finances, the campaign group Keep Our NHS Public called it a harebrained idea and a zombie policy. I assume Norway didn't get the memo.
I think it's just because like there's always people gonna disagree with you because they're always gonna make some conspiracy theory because they're not even that smart about it. Because the only people that are gonna be against you are people who are not even that smart and don't do any research into it. Because you can't speak professionally. You have to speak in their language. That is called Damasery, or you can simple English. Because if you speak Damasery, you can actually put knowledge, knowledge, It's like it's called that we're fucking around. Knowledge that never goes into their mind. You have to be in. You have to be the teacher. Fucking Norway has like futuristic shit. Like they have automatic like clothes handlers. That's cool. Bro, they even have like a fucking tunnel for every single unit. That is so cool. It reminds me like from Paddington, like where like they put the message in the bottle and they just suck it up and it goes to some pipe.
Give it more tax money. This is what everyone says they want, but even this is not enough to placate conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, even if you try to deny a conspiracy theorist, they'll still make more. So unless if you actually fucking try to actually absolutely like answer try to absolutely deny everything, they'll still try to make up new conspiracy theorists, and then we have to go blank. and speak to him. Because like every time I come any more conspiracy theories, it's gotta be false, and it's because it's false.
At least 1970, the UK has been below average on healthcare investment compared to other.
I know, because I'm scared by the fact that dumbass people are just coming out here who have nothing else to do with their life and just say that they shouldn't do this, collapsing an already collapsed country.
Advanced countries, except for 2 years under the last Labour government. Yet, when Labour was investing in the health service at the highest rate in its history, they still had to roll out PR managers to make it very clear to the media that they were not secretly privatising the NHS. Because they weren't. Do you know what the absolute worst part about this is? We already spend more on healthcare out of our own pockets than Americans. The NHS is in such a state that switching to the American system would probably be an improvement.
Go get shagged! Shaggy, 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 shaggy! Die, 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 die!
Being fought between the world's elite businessmen. The battlefield is London, and you, the British taxpayer, are paying for them to exploit the legal system for their own gain. At the same time, money is being siphoned off from the police and court system to fund these exploits, rendering crime effectively legal in the UK.
I know, because they do these long-ass investigations, they don't do anything about it. As soon as they find them, they give them, like, instead of giving them 2 life sentences, they just give them, like, a couple months. Because they know for a fact they can't fund, prisons. Because prisons cannot even be that funded that much because of the fucking government. So this makes it sound like criminals get let out much more quicker, because otherwise, right, they'll be spending more.
Private prosecutions are an archaic legal procedure invented sometime in the Middle Ages. Prior to the introduction of the modern court system in the 19th century, if you wanted to bring someone to justice, the only way to get it was to pay for it yourself. Get permission from the government, hire some lawyers and a judge, rent out a courtroom, recruit some jurors, and run the trial yourself. And legally, this is a legitimate court that can find someone innocent or guilty and put them in prison. In the past,
prison, but I've put them on a fucking stoke.
This has allowed the common man to obtain justice if the Crown Courts refuse to hear the case. In 2017, it was used to put a Russian millionaire behind bars for defrauding £1 million from an investor. In principle, it's a good idea.
Okay, but here's the twist. Unlike a regular trial where both parties cover their own legal fees, in a private prosecution, the government funds all of your legal fees, but not the fees of your opponent. What a perfectly balanced game with no possible exploits.
When coalition budget cuts prevented the legal system from functioning properly, many of London's wealthiest and most corrupt businessmen instead turned to private prosecutions. They started accusing their rivals of stealing millions of pounds or breaking contracts on a technicality. If you win the case, you can send your opponent to jail or give them an unlimited fine. Even if you expect to lose the case, that's also a-okay, because you can drag out the trial until your opponent goes bankrupt.
Yeah, it's fucking legal. Fuck this country.
And the British taxpayer pays for you to do it. It's a no-risk bet.
Anyway, the cost of giving free taxpayer money to billionaires to sue each other into oblivion has completely wiped out all of the savings made from budget cuts to the police and court system since 2010. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to tax disabled people some more to make up for it.
If you commit a crime in Britain today, there is at least a 95% chance you will get away with it.
Yeah, because the cameras are so shite, and B, because right, like school, they don't even treat you that they don't treat any crime that seriously unless if it's reported, then they look into it.
And that's not me being hyperbolic. Look at the rate of reported crimes that end in a criminal charge. Assault, 5%. Stalking, 5%. Harassment, 4%. Burglary, 4%. Criminal damage, 4%. Vandalism, 3%. Vehicle theft, 2%. Muggings and pickpocketing, 1%.
What the hell? So you don't get a charge for any of these. So you can just be the most fucking you could be like a fucking terrorist, and then like you have like a small chance of not getting. Then you have like a large chance of getting not getting charged. What is this? Like, they're funding other shit, but they're not having enough funding in order to do this.
248 phones are stolen in London every day, and only 2% of them are ever recovered. Most police don't even investigate stolen phones, even though there are trackers in every phone to tell the police exactly where the stolen phones are located. The crimes with the highest charge rates are shoplifting at 14%, which is frankly amazing considering nearly 3 in 4 reported lootings by criminal gangs don't even get a police response, and cannabis possession at 15%. Evidently, police think smoking a joint and watching videos of baby pandas is a bigger threat to public safety than stalking or burglary.
Oh yeah, you swinging a judge, 20 years in prison. Oh, you just robbed that poor guy's house? Just a little fine.
If the police won't protect us, and we can't own guns for self-defense, you would think the party of personal responsibility would at least legalize pepper spray. Sadly, even the mildest pepper spray is considered a weapon, and you can be arrested for carrying it. Meanwhile, the cops have been told to not bother arresting actual, real, genuine criminals, instead sending them away with a warning.
No wonder the crime rate is so high.
People like you and me, average people who only commit minor crimes like movie piracy and cannabis smoking, get the full weight of the law upon us, while blatant criminals can do whatever they want like it's the purge. Theft at knife point is basically legal, but a tower that doesn't look exactly like the brochure is prohibited and has to be demolished.
Being a lawyer is a tough job with long hours and low pay, but 25% of barristers have quit their job since 2017, and a further 25% say that they plan to. I would too if I was paid on average £12,000 a year. I think that's a typo. Let me check. It turns out it's true. It is actually £12,000 a year. The National Crime Agency loses 10% of its workforce every year due to quitting. Probably because their officers earn 14% less than a regular beat bobby on the street.
Where do these barristers and special agents go? To the private law sector.
Yeah.
Where they get straight to work making 4 times the salary in private prosecutions, defrauding the taxpayer.
So crime is legal.
By paying barristers poverty wages, the Tories have handed over our best lawyers to the hands of gangsters and foreign billionaires who exploit our legal system for money. So if the cops aren't preventing crimes, solving crimes, capturing criminals, or bringing people to trial, what are they doing? They're beating up people who were hosting a memorial service for a woman who was murdered by an off-duty police officer.
But I love it because like there was also the other dude, but like the Black Lives Matter story where I forgot the dude's name, but basically he was actually suffocated to death when he put a knee on his shoulder, and he got like I can't breathe, and he just stopped breathing and died. And that caused the Black Lives Matter movement. I kid you not, right? The cops were literally over there trying to defend themselves. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? They ain't even arrested their own folk. They'd rather defend their own kind than just actually put their own kind behind jail or bars. you got a license for that?
I was sitting on a jury a few years ago, and in the waiting room, the woman sitting in front of me was chatting away to the person next to her about how human rights are overrated and how it's harder to bring criminals to justice because of human rights. And this woman isn't in the minority. I think most people have an internal conscience that makes them act ethically, like Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio, but for a lot of British people, that conscience is Joseph Stalin.
No shit. Like, we're practically forcing them to think like that because we don't really give a fuck.
On almost every civil liberties issue you can name, opinion polls show that just over half of the British public will always pick the anti-freedom option. The death penalty. Mandatory identity cards.
Nope.
Monitoring all public spaces with CCTV 24 hours a day. Detaining suspected criminals indefinitely without trial. Warrantless wiretapping of innocent people's phones and text messages. Keeping a record of every citizen's fingerprints, even if they haven't done anything wrong. At some point, it just gets ridiculous. 10 years in jail for travellers avoiding COVID quarantine. They've got no...
I honestly gave up because if people like your country's so fucked up to the point that your own people are just trolling you, your own people are just going like fuck it, like this country could just get any worse.
problem with police brutality either. It's this slim majority that allows the government to pass a whole host of authoritarian laws and get away with it. We used to be quite good at this, you know? Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, the birthplace of liberalism, ancient rights of Englishmen and all that. The problem is that the law works in precedence. Laying one brick doesn't do much, but it affects every other brick that comes on top of it. And this time, it was Labour who started building this wall to imprison us under the guise of safety. In the early 2000s, the Blair government passed a number of laws giving authorities the powers to do pretty much anything if they think it will prevent attacks from terriers. These laws have been used to detain a man for carrying a laptop and wearing a coat that was a bit too warm for the season, arrest a woman walking on a cycle path, arrest a man taking photographs of a disused road, spy on people that local councils suspected weren't picking up after their dog, and the Metropolitan Police used these powers to manhandle an autistic teenager for calling a police officer a lesbian.
Oh, you're a lesbian? Let me just fucking RKO you real quick.
I'm sure they stopped a few actual criminals with it too. Under these powers, hundreds of thousands of people, disproportionately black, are subject to invasive searches by police every year. Searches that, by the government's own analysis, don't reduce crime. When stop searches were dramatically increased in 10 London boroughs, it had no effect on the overall crime rate in these areas.
Yeah, because they're all white. They're all white, but they won't search white people. They only search at black people. If they search everyone, that makes it sound like they're going to decrease crime. But they don't, because it's all white people. But they all think they're just a bunch of black people carrying knives and just shanking each other. Just like in USA, but apparently it goes from shanks to guns, and it goes from walking to absolutely revving that truck at 500 miles an hour.
But this isn't as clear-cut as you'd think. There is some conflicting evidence. An independent analysis based on the whole UK over a 10-year period found that increasing stop searches by 10% led to a 0.01 reduction in violent crime.
So
freedom of all is freedom of speech.
So basically, right, add that to like at least like a million. Increase it by 1,000,000%, and you may get at least 100.
But there is no freedom of speech in Britain. I mean, sure, the Human Rights Act says everyone has the right to freedom of expression, but then it is immediately followed up by the exercise of these freedoms may be subject to such formalities, conditions, and restrictions or penalties as are prescribed by law. In 2003, Labour used this exception to make it illegal to say offensive things over the internet, a crime of which we are all probably guilty,
I know, and that's why 4chan even exists. 4chan is actually designed in order for the freedom of the internet, and due to that, right, they would rather, like, if you try to censor it, the internet will hit you so hard. Like, you know what 4chan is powerful of? 4chan is powerful enough in order to like take down a website, because there's enough people on there who know how to DDoS. In fact, when they could professionally DDoS your website to oblivion. Oh yeah, you're going to put an investigation on it? Well, that's not gonna happen. They use VPNs. They look as if they're from Nigeria.
Particularly me when I was 14 years old.
Do you honestly think you're
This law has been used to prosecute a woman posting rap lyrics, some old men posting boomer memes in a private group chat, and a 20-year-old man who insulted a police officer. Look away if you're easily offended. This is really offensive and definitely worthy of a criminal conviction. Ready? Okay? He posted this.
Wait, no. Where was it? Oh, you guys. Nah, he posted a penis. He put a fuck.
Worthy of a criminal conviction. Ready? Okay? He posted
Police fucked. He looked as if he's sucking dick. That's what I used to. That's what I used to do with like pictures with like students. Like I used to put penises on them. And fuck this shit. Like all these people probably have got arrested because of this stupid ass law.
This. And of course worth mentioning that a conviction for posting an edgy video online launched the career of Count Stankula of the Mum's Basement Independence Party.
Damn.
So, up yours, Tony.
Now on their own, it's not so bad. I mean, sure, there are a few false arrests, but all of these people were either never charged or had their convictions overturned on appeal. And surely that's worth it to keep us safe from crime and stop bigots ruining everyone's day?
No, because it'd be like if you do that right, because it takes a while to convict them and then to find them not guilty. There's like a waste of time. During that time, right, they make so that more crime is passed while they do this. Because if they falsely arrest people, they convict them and all that, right? This is actually wasting time, and this increases the crime rate in these particular countries.
What's the worst that could happen?
The Conservatives have built on these precedents to implement the most intrusive and wide-reaching surveillance laws ever passed in a democracy, giving a multitude of police and government organisations the power to silence dissent and investigate people without a warrant. Why did you give the Food Standards Agency the power to hack my phone for
The food agency! Oh, no! This is so terrible!
whatever reason, and then be able to lie about it in court? Is my cooking really that bad? Just seems a little strange to me that the party that supposedly hates cancel culture and supports free speech, when given an opportunity to repeal these laws, just makes them worse by trying to ban legal but harmful online speech, by giving police power to shut down demonstrations, to impose location restrictions, noise restrictions, jailing protesters for holding onto things, and detaining anyone in the vicinity of a protest even if they weren't participating, by giving police power to arrest protesters for being a nuisance. Do you even know what a protest is? We're building a country where the government can introduce a whole host of policies meant to curb the freedom of transgender people, but a tweet in support of these policies gets you arrested? No word of opposition from the opposition either. They supported these laws. Labour are just as authoritarian as the Tories.
To be honest though, I want to start my own government where basically, right, you vote for me and I'll appeal everything. I'll watch this video again and appeal everything that he said.
They just want better funding for public transport. I know it's kind of unpopular in left and liberal circles to stand up for freedom of speech, considering the movement has been co-opted by boneheads waving flags. Wait, what the hell is this guy doing?
He look at this, gonna be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor. I think he's gonna be scared. You know, this guy's gonna beat him up. He's gonna do a knockout.
If you don't stand up for freedom of speech, even the freedom of unsympathetic...
Skegness says no. Skegness also says we are fucking American.
idiots, then the same laws will one day be used against you and the causes you support. See how French police have the power to outright ban all protests in support.
No, they have the right in order to fucking shoot protesters. They treat protesters like foreign terrorists. Like they use tear gas. Like they treat them just like how China treats protests. Like they treat them with absolute dog shit.
Of Palestine under the guise of anti-racism. That's coming here if we don't put a stop to this illiberal nonsense.
Before you know it, we're living in some kind of dystopian society where the government could put you in jail for publishing information that makes them look bad.
The UK has some of the most restrictive laws on what you can eat, drink or smoke out of any European country, and that's because of public health advocacy groups. It started in 2007 with the smoking ban. Now, everyone agrees smoking is bad and should be discouraged, but the ban on smoking was far stricter than bans in most other countries.
I know, because we treated smoking like as if it's the worst thing known to man since Hitler.
We could have been more like Germany or Austria or Sweden, where pubs could choose if they wanted a smoking room. Not in Soviet Britain. Smoking in all establishments was banned completely. It melted our brains and changed the way Brits think about what the government should even be allowed to do in regards to our personal lives. Now, to be clear, I don't care about smokers. Your choices are stupid and enjoy your lung cancer.
That's what everyone says.
I know that how the state treats smokers is the canary in a coal mine for how it will treat other unhealthy things that the rest of us can actually enjoy in moderation in ways that don't hurt other people. Because from this came banning cat, spice and nos, banning buy one get one free offers, banning chocolate near checkouts, banning flavoured vapes, banning disposable vapes, banning big wine glasses, taxes on sugar, taxes on alcohol. The Welsh Government want to ban meal deals, a cross-party committee of MPs has recommended banning microwave dinners, another campaign wants to ban fast food joints within a 5-minute radius of schools. Some campaigners even propose putting a cap on the amount of sugar the country can import. You know who else wanted to stop the British importing sugar? The Nazis. None of this nonsense would be seriously considered if the smoking ban was not so harsh.
I'm just shocked. I'm just honestly fucking shocked that everyone wants to ban everything. Like, it wasn't ban every single food, vegetable, and vegan product load to ban. Like, just fucking starve the UK. Let's see what happens. Let's do an experiment. Starve the UK for 1 year. Let's see what happens. And then just treat it as some strict laws.
The proponents of the smoking ban assured everyone that this would be the limit of government regulation. They didn't want to ban smoking, just restrict it to private residences. They lied. The incessant campaigning of big public health means a total ban on smoking is scheduled for next year, the only country in the world that is doing this.
Oh no, they made it so far, vapes has gone down by a lot, smoking's gone down by a lot. They made it so that people getting lung cancer also goes down by a lot. But this doesn't mean by like, the people like vapes and cigarettes are being treated like drugs now. How the fuck are you fucking up my country so much? If you got that smoke and you just pull out a cigarette.
If these paternalists say they don't want to ban takeaways or alcohol or coke or birthday cake or chewing gum, they are lying. That's what they've been working towards. They don't think
they want to ban everything and tax everything just so that they can actually get some of that money from the tax.
People should be allowed to make the choice to do something unhealthy. Who doesn't love a greasy kebab after a night on the town? Who doesn't see the value in a refreshing pint on a summer afternoon? These guys. If they had their way, all of these things would be banned.
And there's no practical justification. They claim it is to reduce pressure on the NHS because of obesity and other related illnesses, but the biggest pressure on the NHS isn't obesity, it's old people being old. And now we have a drug that cures obesity. These laws aren't necessary anymore. If you become morbidly Mr. Beast, just take the injection.
You might say, this is all an overreaction. Why am I dying on this hill defending Coca-Cola and Tesco Caterpillar cake? Because it's just one of the many death by 1,000 cuts that is making Britain a more boring place to live. Ditching Wi-Fi on trains because it is unaffordable, your local swimming pool removing the water slides due to budget constraints, closing museum exhibits, changing the inside of passports to remove the ships and trains and other British achievements for boring geometric shapes.
I know.
Once you see this, you can't unsee it.
Basically, this one just go like, oh yeah, they will literally ban everything and anything come to ban. So basically, the UK is just shit now, and it's all caused by a bunch of fucking people that want to ban everything.
A nation of nothing.
It can't be done! It can't be done, you haven't a chance, there isn't a possible way. The chains will mend, the girders snap, the thing will blow away. What's more, we can't afford the price it's rather high, you see. And he replied, it's great, you fools, and I am IKB.
This decade is an era of both crisis and prosperity. We live on the verge of quantum computers, nuclear fusion, DNA editing, life extension, Mars missions, and vaccines for cancer that will hugely improve our quality of life. But we will also enter a world of hyper-realistic AI video, robotic warfare, huge shifts in culture driven by faceless algorithms, and where anyone with $15,000 and a biology degree can print the next bubonic plague. An emerging China rivals the United States.
But this is just dangerous.
An aggressive Russia threatens Europe. They have big plans for the world, plans that are in opposition to Western liberal democracies. The first and foremost point of a government at its very core is to protect the citizenry from external threats. This weakened country will fail to do so if we're not prepared.
We are never prepared because we're just fucking up our own country, just how we're so vulnerable enough in order to get invaded.
We're not prepared. It is entirely possible to build a modern, functional, and prosperous state outside of the European Union. Take a look at Norway or Switzerland. But it does require a lot of effort and a lot of big thinking. It's a do or die project, and our politicians of all colours have chosen die. British politics is so petty and small-minded that it even has a name: managed decline. At best, this is just tweaking small bits at a time to gently guide the ship of state onto the ocean floor. I mean, can you really imagine Vladimir Putin or Emmanuel Macron giving a public address to celebrate banning phones in schools?
What?
One of the biggest issues
The next Prime Minister!
Fuck.
This should be the work of a low-level cabinet minister, not the leader of a country with nuclear weapons.
I know.
And at worst, it's intentionally ruining the few remaining strengths of the UK. Heathrow Airport is the busiest airport in all of Europe.
That's factual.
An important centre for European tourism and transit. But building a third runway? Impossible. God damn it, it's the Town and Country Planning Act again, isn't it? While other hot tourist destinations let visitors shop tax-free to encourage tourism, the UK hits them with a 20% tax on all purchases. The Premier League is the most valuable football league in the world. The Conservatives have sabotaged this by introducing a pointless regulator that does all the same things as the Premier's own internal regulator and turns football from a fucking game into a political issue.
The featuring in football. Nah, but now Lionel Messi, that's gonna be their new jobs.
So now politicians are going to be interviewed about the rulings of football games than the actual issues of the day.
No, and besides, just making so right, country now right, football clubs are gonna spend less, and this makes so right. More players are moving out of the country into different places. Like, you have some players that used to play in the UK, but then they stopped because of the money and like how they actually goes now, and they play for different countries and they play for like other countries now, and instead of the UK, and the UK and England as a football team, I just said always shit.
Britain has been a free-trading, seafaring, buccaneering nation for centuries. In a world where power and influence are won more with container ships than at the barrel of a gun, if Britannia is to assert herself in this changing world, she must relearn to rule the waves. That means building ports up and down the country, expanding the navy, securing more trade agreements, because wouldn't it be awesome if we could walk into any supermarket and be faced with an overwhelming choice of produce from every country in the world?
Oh wait, we used to do that, but oh wait, the European Union. Yeah, we can't do that no more. We still have the tax.
Unfortunately, the UK's largest port is in a sleepy coastal town 2 hours away from London. The proposed expansion of Felixstowe took 19 years to get approval. Because of the Town and Country Planning Act,
fuck off.
In the same time, our great geopolitical rival China, which the Tories love to talk about how seriously they're taking it, have
yeah, man, they're a fucking joke.
more than doubled the number of ports under their control, either by building their own or buying terminals in over 50 countries. There are currently zero plans to expand British port capabilities. For £18,000, you can give up a year of your life, 24 hours a day in service of His Majesty's Navy, being sent halfway across the planet from your
Is this gonna be a sponsorship?
friends and
Like, you got like, well, you can. Today's sponsor, War Thunder.
family to fight pirates. Or you can stack shelves at Tesco for a few days a week.
What's the point? You literally get like, it's like, would you rather like risk your life, or like for 80,000, or would you just stack shelves for the same amount of money?
I know which one I would choose. The Royal Navy has been so underfunded and soldiers so underpaid that there is now a shortage of troops. 2 ships have been retired due to lack of staff, and the government is now resorting to LinkedIn for retired rear admirals to command vessels.
There's no way. Linked, 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 LinkedIn, retired, LinkedIn retired. No, these are different types of pictures. But I think that could actually be true, because how the UK is actually going is just shitty.
Within 10 years, the UK will become the only advanced country without the facilities to make steel from raw materials. We are shutting down all the blast furnaces. So if there is a war, like right now, and we need submarines and ships to defend ourselves, like right now, where are we going to get the steel from, Rishi? Will I have to pull shopping trolleys out of my local river to make aircraft carriers with? Oxford and Cambridge are still an engine of innovation and scientific achievements. Their universities remain 2 of the best universities in the world, and the UK takes the silver medal when foreign students are asked where they'd most like to study.
Yeah, but this is where they like to study. Like, they don't have the experience to know how shitty London is. Like, if they know how shitty London is they probably change their mind about it.
Right in between them is Milton Keynes, a major high-tech manufacturing hub. Many countries would kill for an arrangement like this, yet Britain's small-minded thinking is squandering that gift. British neuroscientists and quantum computers are paid as little as $50,000 per year.
Bruh, that sounds really complicated. Quantum is complicated. Quantum is such a complicated. Like, if you hear the word quantum computing, you will hear absolutely complicated computing. Like, quantum cars, complicated. Like, if you hear the word quantum, it means like complicated, and the people who know them are literally very smart, and therefore their jobs valuable as hell.
Astronauts with a PhD, fluent in Russian and with dual US citizenship, paid a mere $40,000. Engineers in the United States are paid double what they are in Britain.
So what's the point of living in Britain when you get paid more in the US?
In 2017, a single computer virus took down the entire NHS overnight. How will it survive an AI virus that learns its own weaknesses and patches them up as it proliferates? How would our energy infrastructure cope with a huge cyber attack of the kind?
Yeah, we're just fucked.
Inflicted on Ukraine during this war? The answer is that it wouldn't, because it can't. Housing Secretary
Managed to close a professional word for being fucked.
Michael Gove, a man who makes me ashamed to be a Michael, finally did something in his 14-year career of making things worse and proposed doubling the size of Cambridge by building 150,000 new homes around the city. This would, in theory, double the output of the city and double the amount of scientific achievement. And maybe then we can finally catch up with the USA and Germany and China and be more than just a collection of hedge funds with a Bulgaria stapled to it. The local member of parliament
Conservative, by the way.
Objected to this proposal of more scientific advancement and free investment money on the grounds that Cambridge didn't have the reservoir capacity to supply drinking water to all the new residents that would move there. So let's talk about the reservoirs. Can we talk about the reservoirs, Mac? I mean, dying to talk about the reservoirs. From 1970 to 1980, Britain built 10 new reservoirs. That's one per year. Since 1992, Britain has built 0 reservoirs. Yet the population has gone up by 10 million people. To build a new water reservoir, the MP said, would take up to 20 years. 20 years to dig a hole in the ground and wait for it to rain. On an island where it does nothing except rain. So we can't have a super futuristic technology hub, we can't build smartphones, we can't program robots or build supersonic jets, or even build enough houses so that people have somewhere to live. Oh, don't bother creating a better society, guys, because we're too lazy to build a reservoir. We're rationing water now in a supposed first world country. But it's okay, because Rishi Sunak has unveiled he's spending £1 million on 100 new chess sets in parks up and down the country.
They're gonna get 100% fucking stolen. Risky, what are you thinking?
Nowhere has this utter failure.
Sorry, 100 chess sets. That's it. That's your latest, greatest policy on how to fix the country. 100 chess... No, it's actually 100 chess boards. They're not even going to give us the pieces. Can't you at least give us the knights? You seem to have a lot of them, considering how many f***ing L's this government keeps taking.
Nowhere has this utter failure to become a modern country been more evident in the fight around HS2, the most rudimentary of 21st century transport that we just can't seem to get right. The actual building of the track is actually proceeding on time.
Yeah, I actually got to it, so I don't know where I was standing exactly, but I could actually remember. I don't think it was here, because I remember this one. I used to go to HS2, and basically we stood around the edge and just saw down below. This is not the actual place. There's multiple places where the HS2 is actually being built, and basically we stood on a hill, right, and we looked down. I was by an airport, so while we see that, right, we saw planes, and we kept on taking pictures of the planes, and because, right, the teacher saw us and so not interested in the HS2, they took our phones away, and they go like, "We'll take a picture of it later." Yeah, and not that, right, but while they showed us the HS2, right, there was a picture, and this picture was in fact the Meep City party house. It was literally just it was a bunch of monkeys, so basically a bunch of black people in a basketball court with no door. Nice one, UK. Just trap the monkeys. Like, this could just be a floating zoo, you know. We have the gorillas playing playing fucking basketball. What else? It's literally just Adopt Me, but not Adopt Me. It's literally just Meep City, but if it was in real life.
Time and on budget. It's just getting to that stage that
I think this was it. It kind of reminds me of it. I think it was.
so much. Every mile of track is ferociously debated, discussed, subject to committee meetings, costing analysis, public scrutiny, local hearings, and objections
And Adolf Hitler
from environmentalist groups, hugely ballooning the cost. After 15 years under construction, the 140 miles of railway line is set
I don't think this
to be
was it.
completed by 2045.
Fuck off. 2045.
21 years until I can hop on HS2 and visit the newly opened Cambridge Reservoir.
It's just a fucking hole in the
Even
ground.
by the time the project comes to fruition, we will still have less high-speed rail than Romania, Greece, and Serbia. The government could write a law tomorrow that fixes all of this. If they really did care about making a success of Brexit, if they really were serious about governing the country, there would be an all-out mobilisation of every aspect of government to make Britain into a country fit for the 21st century. But they won't.
Okay, look, I don't care if it costs £1 trillion. I don't care if it makes 1,000 species of rare squirrel extinct. HS2 has to be built as a matter of principle, because if it doesn't, it is over for large structural change in this country. Whether you're on the left or the right, whether you want to reopen the steel factories or build a fleet of aircraft carriers or 100 nuclear power plants, we can't do it. If we can't do what Spain or France or China has done 10 times since the 1990s, we can't do anything. We will be stuck debating infantile politics, arguing about bin collections and potholes and whatever the hell wokeness is forever. It's not going to get any better than this.
But for a lot of Brexiteers, maybe the most devoted 40% of them, that's totally fine for them. They proudly don't mind being poorer. They aren't bothered about building a powerful economy or having any influence on the world stage. They would gladly put up with any decline in their living standards, but so long as the government did one thing: bring down immigration. And the government didn't do it.
Nah. How the fuck was this supposed to decrease immigration? But at the same time, it said that legal immigration is much more easier.
Oh, I really don't want to talk about this. Immigrants didn't elect this corrupt government. Immigrants didn't brutalize the poor or take away our freedoms. Immigrants didn't prevent us from...
How long has it been on this actually? Because I feel fucking tired. 26 minutes of... No. That is done to record. What the hell? So 3 hours. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the live stream because I'm fucking tired. And my legs are sweaty because of the fucking government.